lost it. All right, there we go. We've got it now. Okay, I don't know why it's showing up on the screen, but you weren't getting it. But you should be getting sound now, folks. Let me just double check. My apologies for that. A bit of technical snafu here early in the morning. Okay, my apologies for that. Welcome, folks, once again to Indaba Africa. This is Chris here, Chris White Africa on the Indaba Africa channel. Welcome to everybody, bringing you live updates from events unfolding in Brackenfell High School, at Brackenfell High School in the Western Cape, where the Economic Freedom Fighters, a group, has gathered to protest against purported racism. Of course, this is a political party whose very leaders spew racial hatred on nearly a daily basis, calling for the murder of white farmers, calling for arson of farms, and calling for the destruction of privately owned businesses like cliques, or the racial hatred that spews from the mouths of the Economic Freedom Fighters. They also seem to have a distinct inability, ladies and gentlemen, to actually perform mathematics. You see, the group was granted permission to demonstrate outside Brackenfell High School by a judge who said that they're okay to do it as long as they don't disrupt the students, as they promised not to do. And they numbered no more than 100. But as you'll see in just moments from now, they seem to have this distinct inability to count. I suspect that these members of the Economic Freedom Fighters scored well below 30% passing mark on their math score for matrix. So there you go, folks. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the stream. I have video coming in now from folks down at the scene, and we're going to bring you a few things, but let's just start off with this one here very quickly, and this one will help you see just the challenges that they face with their inability to do maths. So let me just do this one very quickly for you folks, and you will see what I'm talking about here. I'll bring you these videos as they come in, but here's one that you should take a look at, and just notice that this is a little more than 100 people. This video is from a short while ago at Brackenfell, within the last 15 or 20 minutes or so. This one's not too bad. Well, we're going to there. And bear in mind, these aren't professional photographers doing this. These are people on the scene who are providing the footage. Thank them very much for their footage. But that's the first one here. Let's get the next one going here. And I'm going to show you this one, which is also quite interesting. Make sure I've got it there. Here we go. Yeah, this is I don't know about the rest of you, but I think what do you think, folks? Slightly more than 100 there? Slightly more than 100, yeah? I'd say just a little bit more than 100 people there in that group marching past Brackenfell High School. So it started out pretty quiet there, ladies and gentlemen. Bit earlier, there was a dispute early in the morning as they attempted to set up portalets, or portable toilets, and bring that one in here. And they wanted to argue with this lady about the toilets. This was earlier this morning. Came up in just a moment. Let me find this. A couple different views on this one here.
What will happen? Remember, this side is the community. So we are standing.
So are we not part of the community?
We are not from there. So we are also.
I'm not from where? I'm a foreigner.
No, you are not from
there. This is my fucking ancestral land.
We are not here to argue. We are asking you nicely.
Sorry, madam.
To please leave this people. I'm asking you nicely in the name of peace. In the name of peace. I'm asking you.
Peace for what? Peace for what?
I'm asking you in the name of peace. Please take those toilets. Put them
yes,
that
so leave them. Sorry, madam.
Please, I'm asking you.
Madam, you can come with your people and they fight and whatever. No, you want to fight. Okay, what will you do? We'll put the toilets in.
We are for peace. We are asking you nicely. Please put the toilets on that side. The people are coming from that side. We want the toilets on that side. This side, the community is standing. We are wanting peace this side. We are asking you very nicely. We are asking you very nicely, please. We want peace. We are here for peace. We don't want nonsense. That's why we are asking you nicely. Have wisdom. Have wisdom in the situation and put the toilets that side, please.
Well, clearly that was footage. My apologies, ladies and gentlemen. That was not footage from South Africa. Obviously, that was footage from New Zealand. You'll notice that virtually nobody was wearing a face mask because obviously COVID-19 has been wiped out in New Zealand. I mean South Africa. Notice that, folks. Clearly, the virus has been resolved. There's no crisis in South Africa. The great stewardship and leadership of the country by the African National Congress has led to the wiping out of the virus. As you notice there, people not wearing face masks, standing right next to each other, touching each other. Ooh, isn't that special? Just a little more footage there, ladies and gentlemen, from Brackenfell. That was from early this morning. Love the mansplaining that was going on there. That's very, very gentlemanly of the fellow there, talking about where to put the latrines. Quite interesting. A little bit more footage coming in now, folks, from the scene in Brackenfell. Let me just keep adding these, and it comes in after just because the videos come in as they come in. These are a little bit older. I've showed you the most recent ones already, so let's just add a few more in here just to keep you up to date as they come in. And here's another one. It's along the same line there.
You don't know them.
The people are coming from that side, so people are coming
So
from that side.
don't listen to them. Don't talk to them.
I'm
Please.
asking you very nicely. I don't want to argue. Please take the toilets that side. If you bring the toilets here,
What will
remember this side is the community. So we are standing.
So are we not part of the community?
You are not from here. So we are asking.
I'm not from where. I'm a foreigner.
No, you are not from
This is my fucking ancestral land.
We are not here to argue. We are asking you nicely.
Sorry, madam.
To please move the toilets that side. I'm asking you nicely in the name of peace. In the name of peace.
You cannot
live
for what? For what?
I'm asking you in the name of peace to please take those toilets. Put them that side. Brother,
Madam,
please, I'm asking you
madam,
nicely.
you can come with your people and they fight and all.
We don't want to fight. We
No,
are
you want
for
to fight.
peace. We are for
Okay, what will you do? We'll
We
put
are
the
for
toilet
peace. We are for peace.
Yeah, no, fair point there, AHB Films. I don't want to argue, but she goes on and on. But to be fair, the gentleman is invading her space, and he's trying to illegally set up a portable toilet in the space where people from the town are standing in an intentional effort to cause havoc. It's perfectly fine to set it on the opposite side of the street or the opposite side of the gate, which is available to him, but he just wants to have trouble. Conscious Carol, yes, these videos are coming from someone in Bois-Legion who's on the ground providing them to me. So, yeah, don't know if he's available to talk. He is not involved directly in the security for the event, and I'll see if he's available. And we do have an audio file here. Let me play the audio file. This is from Mornay. Okay, folks, here we go.
Hi, Chris. The video that I just sent you, that's a video clip where majority of them are with pangas, with weapons and everything. And they over 100. The court order only allow for 100 people to be here today. The police is doing nothing. People are gathering here in Brackenfell, white, colored, Indian people, and the police came and said we must remove ourselves. There's only one march that's happening, and that's the EFF. We don't have a permit and all of that, and now they want us to move, but we're still standing here. We're going to see what's going to happen now, and there's also info that there's buses with them with firearms and stuff on it, and the police is doing nothing about that as well. So it's only one-sided.
Well, there you go, folks. That's from Mornay from Bois-Legion. I will get him on the phone as soon as I can. So let me download their video he just sent me a moment ago. This is also from the scene here. I heard someone say that rubber bullets being fired. I don't have any footage of that yet, folks. If, in fact, I do get that in, I will get that footage in. Let me see. Right, let me get this another update.
Chris, another thing, send me, if you can, send me your email address. I've got a guy that's recording everything.
Okay, that's for me. I'll do that. Right, so I'll get some more videos. But in the meantime, this is from Mornay from, as I said, from Bois-Legion. Yeah, I see that someone showed up trying to play the role of EFF. That was clever. I love it. That's good stuff. Funny stuff there. Lovely to show up there. Okay, here it is. This one that just came in. Let me adjust that.
Nee, God is meer.
All right, I'm giving Mornay a call now, folks. I'll take the call rather than the video here. So just a moment, we'll get him in here. Mornay. Mornay. I can hear you. I have you on my WhatsApp on speaker so that the audience can hear you. What's going on where you're at now?
That's fine. We're standing here on the corner of Goedewip and Roslyn Avenue, and we're standing here in the open park, and the police colonel came to us and said we need to move ourselves because we don't have a permit, but the EFF guys is walking by the thousand. They're on the way, they're at the bridge currently by thousands with weapons and everything, and the police is doing nothing towards them. So we're standing fast. We said we're not going to move. And we're going to see what's going to happen. So, yeah, we will see. And I've got a guy that's doing the video recording for us so that we can see exactly that everyone can see that the problem is not on our side, where the problem actually lies. And they've already started this morning, the clips that I've sent you, they've already started swearing at people, saying, you settlers, what are you doing here? You don't belong here. So it already started as a negative, but not once did any white, colored Indian person that's part of the group that's standing here today made any remarks or said anything negative.
Yeah, so far you haven't seen any violence, have you?
Say again?
I said you haven't seen any violence thus far, have you? I know that they're armed, the EFF folks carrying pangas and knob carries and such.
We haven't because they did not pass us yet.
Ah, okay. They haven't gotten to the point where you're located. Got you.
Exactly. They haven't got to the point where we are standing, but we're standing firm. We're not here for to make trouble, but if it's going to come our way, we've got no alternative. But we have to defend ourselves.
No, absolutely. People are asking if there are parents there. I don't imagine there are. Have you seen any parents at the scene?
Yes. The parents are here. I've spoken to the guy that organized the party. He was there, and him and his wife as well. They're also targeting his wife because they found out where she's working, and she also didn't go to work today.
Ah, okay. So there are some parents there. Okay, good to catch up on that, get that information. Some people were jumping in my chat talking about rubber bullets being fired. You haven't seen that where you're at thus far?
No, it's on the other side as they're busy on their way because the EFF has already started demolishing buildings and throwing bricks and attacking people on that side. We've had it over the radio. We've got people on that side as well, and I asked them to send us video footage so that I can send it to you. And I've got a guy that's also shoot the film to see exactly what's happening on our side, and when they do pass us so that we can record everything and then send it to you. I've sent your email address to him. Thank you for that. And the moment he's done, he will upload everything and then send everything to you.
All right, that sounds brilliant. Thank you, Mornay. I appreciate that. So, folks, you hear it right there, straight from Mornay, who's on the scene with Boer Legion. In fact, we'll have some footage for us of the events that are happening, where the violence is taking place. At the moment where he's at, things are quite calm. All right, Mornay, I'll let you go, and I'll call you back shortly. Okay?
No problem. I will let you know the moment we can hear them. So I'm just gonna get out and then support the guys here. We're gonna talk again.
All right. Bye, Donkey. Thank you very much.
Okay.
All right. Bye.
No problem. Thank you.
Bye.
Keep well. Bye-bye.
You can hear the horns there, folks. That was Mornay from Boer Legion coming to us live from Brackenfell. You can hear in the distance the horns blowing now. As he said, they also have authorized legal drones that are flying above the action to take footage. They'll be sharing that with us as well. Let me see. Conscious, can you wrench me so I can post links in the... Yeah, not a problem. All right, here we go. Add monitor. There you go. You're up, Conscious, Caracal. All right, let me catch up with the chat here. Some people misbehaving here. I don't know why. Let's see if the video is just like the last altercation. We saw what happened there. Okay. Well, I'm showing you the videos, AHB, so be patient. Things come in as they come in. This is not a local news outfit with state funding that allows us to selectively choose what we want to cover, when we want to cover it. We have to catch the information that's available and report on it as objectively as possible. Rowan von Vuren says reports are that the cops shot rubber bullets and tear gassed the EFF. Doesn't surprise me. The EFF have already violated the court order and have violated the law and have gathered unlawful under South African law. They violated what the judge told them, 100 people, clearly more than 100, easily 700 to 1,000 people in that batch of people toy-toying and dancing with weapons marching by the school. We'll see what happens there. So, okay, let me get that one here real quick. Okay. What's going on here? That's not what I want. Okay, folks, let me get this over here. Some video footage is being shared on Twitter, so let me get that one here as soon as that comes up. Okay, here we go. This is, okay. This is only a 10-second clip. This one's on Twitter. Let me share this with you. This is purportedly the police in Brackenfell moments ago. So let me bring this up for you. Thank you very much, Ernst, for sharing that. Here we go. All right. I just got to cover myself up now. There we go. Right. The one problem with Twitter feeds is that they just keep looping folks. So that was just a 10-second clip of events taking place there. That's from News 24. They're on the scene. Wow, they could show up for once. Remember Senecal the first time on the 6th of October? They were nowhere to be found. Nowhere to be found. News 24. SABC was there, but they were the only major news outlet that showed up, and their coverage is incredibly slanted. So here you go. Anyway, there you go, folks. A little bit of video come in thus far. Of course, we're getting video from Mornay, and so we'll wait for more to come in from him. What's this? Jack Miller's there. Okay, let me get that as well. And see what we got to say from Jack Miller. This is Jack Miller from the Cape Party, who's urged people to actually go there. And let's see what Jack Miller has to say as we bring that in, folks. You're listening to live coverage of updates from Brackenfell High School in the Western Cape, ladies and gentlemen, as events unfold there, as the economic freedom fighters have violated the court order and broken the law yet again. This domestic terrorist group, disguised as a political party, continues to agitate for a race war in South Africa with their racial hatred and their vile and disgusting behavior. Let's go ahead. This is about a minute 36 clip. This is from, as I said just a moment ago, this would be from Jack Miller, who is the leader of a Cape Party leader, in the Western Cape. So let's get this up here very quickly, and we'll bring that up.
Well, we agree with what you mentioned just now about the human rights officials. So we're calling for calm. We're absolutely calling for calm. And the ones who are trying to instigate unrest here are the EFF, and so we're here to peacefully observe that the permit that was granted to them by the judge, that they comply with that, and we see a nice peaceful protest from them. We'd love to listen to what they have to say, and if we disagree with what they have to say, we'd like to present our opinions. This is a democracy. Well, we stand against any form of racism, and the bottom line here is that you've got to use common sense. There was nothing racist done by the school. This is a private party, a private event, and it had nothing to do. Not all the matriculants were invited, and just to put this in perspective, I wasn't the most popular kid in school either. There were parties that I wasn't invited to, and they all happened to be white, but I didn't call them racist for not inviting me. So, I think we need to move past race in this country. We're so sick and tired of this. For 26 years, 26 years ago, we were promised a dream of a rainbow nation. And nowadays, you don't hear the ANC or the EFF talking about this. And so we formed the Cape Party because we believe we can have a rainbow nation right here in the most ethnically diverse part of the country, and in fact, many places in the world. And we can have a beautiful rainbow nation right here in an independent Western Cape.
Wow, look at that, folks. Talk about you folks not being united in South Africa. Look at this moaning and whining about this guy promoting his political party. Yeah, so what? He was. I don't really care. I don't know much about his political party. But also, by the way, I did see a comment here from Marco said that vid just played had no stun guns or rubber bullets. No, it didn't. Marco, what's your point here? Are you a little hard of hearing, slow? I told you we'll provide video that we have available and we can find on it. I don't have a news crew sitting on the ground here with a billion-dollar enterprise behind me spewing fake news and opinion disguised as news. I don't have that. So, yeah, that video clip, in fact, didn't have any stun grenades or what did you say? What was the other question? You said no stun grenades, no rubber bullets. No, didn't see either one of those. Never purported that video would have that, Marco. Did not. In fact, as you heard, I interviewed Mornay on the phone call, and Mornay told me that he wasn't seeing that where he was at. So what's your point, Marco? What are you looking for here? Anyway, folks, looking to keep everybody updated here. You're listening to live video updates from the situation in Brackenfell High School in the Western Cape, ladies and gentlemen. Let me catch up on this Grantland Smith is saying dream on. I assume you're talking about Jack at his Cape party. Okay, Ronaldo sent me a video. Let me see what Ronaldo's got. Okay. What's this? Okay, I'm going to have to download that one. This should be interesting. Anyway, folks, yeah, so Shane is in Germany. Greetings from Germany. Okay, this is taking a very long time.
I'm standing in solidarity.
Okay, here we go. This should be interesting. News 24, of course, rushes out to get anything to support their narrative. And, of course, you know, News 24 is supposed to be a news organization, not a political advocacy group, but they are a political advocacy group and not... Yeah, the interesting thing here, ladies and gentlemen, is that, as I've mentioned when the stream started, the economic freedom fighters seem to have an inability to do mathematics. They apparently failed maths at school, assuming they went to school, because the judge directed them that they should only have 100 persons present. Clearly, they violated that, including bringing armed individuals, as we saw in that video. I don't know if anyone's been to the police station like charged against economic freedom fighters, but you should feel free to do so, as they violated the judge's order and violated the law. So let's go ahead and somebody take the time to make a trip down your local police station there to file a charge against this domestic terrorist organization masquerading as a political party. So this one here was sent to us a moment ago. Let me get this to come up. This one's from Ronaldo, sent this to us. This is purporting I have not watched the video, folks. Remember, you're seeing the videos as I come in, so I cannot vouch for what is said in the videos unless I've been told ahead of time and I trust the source. So this, I'm told, is a white EFF supporter. So here we go, folks.
I'm standing in solidarity with the EFF and Black Land First, and we're standing against the Cape Party and the DA, which are trying to uphold white supremacy. And we're here to start the conversation about transferring the generational wealth and land over to the historically disenfranchised population of Azania.
Are you a member of the EFF?
Since I've been 18 years old, I've been a member here.
What is it about the EFF that has attracted you?
It's just their message. It's frankly come too late. Their message of transferring the generational wealth that has been stolen. The property that exists in expensive white areas in this country needs to be transferred. And they're speaking about that. No other party is speaking about that. The ANC is a neoliberal centrist organization. They're not interested in doing any of this. The EFF has spoken, something we all feel, we all talk about as young people.
What is your message to young people in South Africa, and especially white South Africans?
We're at a precipice in history. We are holding on to our parents' money and our parents' land. We need to hand it over as quick as humanly possible. There was not healing in 94. There needs to be mass healing and reparations in this country, and it's up to us white people to transfer that wealth and that power.
Oh, dear God. Oh, dear God. Wow. Bianca van Wyk, I found you a boyfriend. There's your boyfriend, Bianca van Wyk. Would you like to hook up with this soy boy here? We found you a date, Bianca. If you're looking for a date, here's a date for you. This clueless young man who's been somehow brainwashed into believing utter nonsense. Well, young man, if you'd like to give something over, why don't you just hand over whatever it is that you have that you supposedly gotten illegitimately? What a moron. What a complete dipshit. What an absolute moronic twit. Welcome to the real world. Okay. Let's take him out and leave him on a farm at night. Okay, let him spend a few nights on a farm and deal with that. Or let's take him into, I don't know, drop him off in Hillbrow in the middle of the night and see how much he enjoys that experience and see what mouth he's running afterwards. My goodness, where do people like this come from? What planet are they on? It's absolutely ludicrous, folks. Yeah, don't forget, I saw someone said they're going to go and lay charges of terrorism against the EFF. I'm not sure how you do that. I do know you can lay charges against them for their actions. I don't know if in terrorism is one of the things you can lay against them. But folks, take a look at that. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Yeah, well, that's an option too. We can look at the excuse me. I can look at that. It's crazy, folks. Sounds like he has never worked a day in his life. Bourgeois guilt. Yeah, Grab, exactly right. He'd fit right in here with the modern Democratic Party with people like Ilhan Omar and folks like that. Absolutely. Absolutely. I'll tell you, it's crazy stuff. Crazy stuff, folks. Unbelievable. The nonsense that these folks come up with. Where do they get people like this? Is this Chinese water torture? How exactly does that happen? How exactly does that happen? It's unbelievable, ladies and gentlemen. It's just shocking the nonsense that happens in this day and age. Holy moly, a youngster who doesn't have a clue. Yeah, no doubt about that. Definitely does not have a clue. No doubt about that, folks. But let me see if we got any more footage that's come in since I've been chatting here. No more at the moment. I'll call Mornay just a moment, try to get an update to see what's going on here. So let me see if I can't get a hold of Mornay. But Mike Mortimer said that Pale EFF member clearly has no hard-earned property. Well, he does. He has his parents' property, Mike, which he seems perfectly happy in sharing with other people. For some reason, he seems to think that skin color entitles people to things. Whether you are white or brown or black, it doesn't entitle you to jack. You must earn your way in this world. You're not entitled to anything. No one's entitled to any property, any income, any resource. You must earn your way in this world. That's how the real world works. Crazy stuff. Crazy stuff. Absolutely warped worldview. No doubt about it. Sheraldine Harris says, thank you. You're welcome for that. He's 100 kilometers from me. Should I go give him a lekker clap? Well, Morpy 777, that might be in order. Might be in order there. Sino Saffer says the education system in South Africa is nothing more than brainwashing. The higher education institutes are full of hardcore commies, same as in the U.S. Yeah. I think that might be the case. For those who tuned in late, let's go ahead and play a couple of these video clips that we had from earlier that came in. Let me see if I can get this one here. I think it's this one right here. So this is the This is the video clip in which we see clearly more than 100 members of the Economic Freedom Fighters. Here's your prima facie evidence right here, ladies and gentlemen, to lay a charge against the criminal organization known as the Economic Freedom Fighters. You see them, obviously they can't count. Maybe that won't be held against them because of the low education standards, but clearly more than 100 individuals there, easily 700 or more. Yeah, okay, that's an illegal act. They've committed a crime, and they should be held to account for it. Notice how close they also have come to the school grounds, right up along the fence line there. What is that all about? Angie, good morning to you. Nezzy Vilder, good to see you again. Been a while. Such a mistake, and I do hope nobody gets stupid. Children should not be targeted like this. Absolutely not. But they don't care about children. They don't care about reason. They don't care about life. They are just there to cause problems. So anyway, folks, back to the conversation here. Let me see what else we got here. Well, what's going on here? Wow, not enough video to maintain the stream. Interesting. Why is my stream being, we're being messed with once again by YouTube. Interesting. Says I'm still streaming, but I'm seeing that I'm not getting any feed over here. Why is that? Interesting. Interesting. All right, come on back. There we go. Let's see if we can get this back. Got a large crowd here, folks. We shouldn't be letting them down. YouTube, stop messing with my feed. By the way, folks, last night on my feed, when I did live coverage of the press conference, we had YouTube interfering with my stream, jumping in, putting comments in my stream from YouTube. It was absolutely astonishing. I have no idea why. They seem to have difficulty with facts and with information being portrayed. What's going on here? My stream is not showing up on here, folks, as if I'm not there. Am I still on screen? Ronaldo, I'm plugged into the network. God bless it. I'm sick of the help. Thank you. I'm plugged into the network. My CPU is under 50% consumption, and my RAM is at 46%. I have a 100 megabyte per second upload speed, not download. It is not my connection. It is not my connection. Okay, thank you. What's happening is that YouTube is playing with my stream. Folks, that's what's happening here. Once again, I'm trying to observe to make sure that the stream is going through, and I can't see it because my feed is broken off over here. Now I'm getting skip frames. Why am I getting skip frames for this feed when there's nothing. This is crazy. This is crazy. All right, hang on a second, folks. Let me just do this here. Let me see if I can get this to work a little bit better here. Okay, so there we go. All right, let's see what happens now. Let's see what happens now. All right. Okay, folks, stick with me, folks. Be patient here. Be patient. It's probably might be because of the videos that I've loaded up here. Rocky Rowan just subscribed. Well, thank you for subscribing. Hey, folks, if you're not a subscriber to Chris White Africa, hey, take a moment, become a subscriber right now. Stun grenade video. Okay, there we go. I need that one. Okay, shoot. All right, so here we go, folks. See if I can get this back here in just a moment. We'll try to get the stun grenade video that was the question that was being raised a few minutes ago. We'll get that back. Unbelievable. By the way, folks, I have a 16 gig of RAM on this computer, and I have 8 gig of RAM on my video card, yet experiencing trouble. Isn't that interesting how that happens? Right. Okay, so that one needs to go. Okay, let's get back here. That one needs to go. Just a second here, folks. Thank you for your patience. Give me a moment here. Khalil Vaisel has just subscribed. Well, thank you for that, Khalil. Appreciate you subscribing. Are you with Telecom? Frank Kruger. It feels like it. But again, folks, it's not my data connection. It's not it. And it's also not my CPU. And it's not my RAM, which people always want to offer help. It's not helpful. Yeah, anyway. So something is going on here. I'm still not getting... Now my entire feed is getting messed with here. Erica says it's streaming perfectly. Yeah, but I don't have control. Yeah, so things are not loading on my end. I'm trying to load events here, and they're not loading. The data from South Africa is not coming in now all of a sudden. Why is that, I wonder? And I have no idea what's going on here. So anyway, that's useless to me. All right, so are we getting more folks coming in? Shane just subscribed. Well, thank you so much, Shane, for subscribing. Appreciate that. Let me get this down here, and I'm rebuilding everything here. See, look at Ronaldo, CPU usage about to crash. No, that's not the case here, Ronaldo. God bless it. What is going on with this? Okay, yes, I'm sure I want to go out of here. There we go. Come on. Anyway, yeah, so folks, you're watching slow updates here now that are coming in slowly from the situation in Brackenfell in South Africa. Thank you for tuning in. This is Chris White Africa. Friedrich Johann Potgieter has been away for a while. Yeah, well, a lot's been happening. My site's been messed with endlessly by YouTube. I've tried switching on and off again. Well, thank you. Thank you for all the advice. I appreciate everybody offering the advice. Acrylic Poor Art with G just subscribed. Well, thank you so much for subscribing. Yeah, it's quite the slow situation here, folks. Let me go back and check my CPU again. Again, not running high, not running hot. Look at this. Crazy stuff here. Why is this happening? Okay, so get rid of that. Get rid of this. Okay, get rid of this. Get rid of this. All right, here we go. Right. Okay, so people were crying about getting the video of the water cannons. Let's get that up here. This was from ENCA. Wow, ENCA is actually on the scene. What a rare treat this is to see ENCA on the scene. All right, folks, I need to delete some of these videos because I think that's part of my problem here. Okay, let's get rid of those. Oh, sorry about the noise there, but that's just taking them out of my Streamlabs feed. All right, so let's get this video up here just now coming up. Here we go. This is ENCA. Okay, here we go.
There's a firing of tear gas, as we can see. Let's stay with those visuals. What's happening on the other side? The police dispersing, seemingly, those hundreds of EFF supporters whom we saw marching and stuff, and also using a fire hose, hosing down the water hose and dispersing that grouping of hundreds of EFF supporters. Ronald, what can you tell us?
Absolute chaos, Bracken, as you can see. Hundreds of people running around the streets in Brackenfell as the police have dispersed fire cannon, water cannons. We've also seen quite a number of people just running in different directions, Bracken. You also, the tear gas is in my eyes at the moment, Bracken, so I'll have to leave it for now.
Okay, you're not able to tell us anymore. Of course, you are also choking there a little bit, affected by the tear gas. What we've witnessed just a short while ago, as we saw those visuals and we heard from Ronald Masinda, police deciding to fire tear gas canisters and use water cannon to disperse more than 100, obviously, several hundreds of EFF supporters.
Sorry, guys. Yeah, sorry. God bless it. Yeah, okay, that's my error. It's 3 in the morning. My apologies. That the error is mine. I got it, folks. Wow, there's a lot of people telling me this was sound. Folks, there you see themselves. ENCA actually telling the truth there, telling people that there are hundreds of EFF supporters there, hundreds, in violation of the judge's order, in violation of the law, unlawful assembly. Feel free to go lay a charge against this domestic terrorist organization masquerading as a political party in South Africa. Interesting to see ENCA's title for that. They call it EFF Protest Whites Only. I don't know. It looked an awful lot like, other than that very clueless young man, to be largely a blacks only demonstration that was taking place here. Yeah, there you go. No, Hank, there was no rant. I'm just chuckling at the irony of what's going on here. Let me try to call and see if I can get a hold of Mornay and get an update from him. Yeah, it's just too funny, folks. It's too funny to see the nonsense that takes place here. Let me see if I can get him real quick. And we'll see if we can't get him on here very quickly. So get an update. Yeah, the EFF needs to change their colors to yellow, as I said. What we're getting, folks, here is the best outcome you could possibly get from this nonsense, as the police have not allowed them to do mass destruction. Morning.
Chris, I can't talk now. I'm just busy quickly.
All right, I'll call.
Phone me back in 10, 15 minutes.
I'll do that. Roger out. Okay, folks, sorry about that. They're coordinating some things right now, so I'll call him back shortly, in about 10 minutes there. Anyway, folks, you're listening to live updates from Brackenfell High School in the Western Cape in South Africa, where the economic freedom fighters have violated a court order, violated the law, assembled in the masses. What looks like, in the brief footage that I saw, at least 700. I could be off on that count because I didn't have a perfect view of it, but at least several hundred. And even the ENCA, the captured ENCA media themselves, admits that hundreds of EFF supporters were there. And of course, we saw many of them carrying sticks and weapons with them as they marched along, toying right up against the fence line of the school. And they were supposed to be demonstrating, not menacing. This looked to me more like menacing than demonstrating. So there you have it, folks. Events unfolding. You saw in that latest video, which I showed you from ENCA, in which the police fired stun grenades and also fired water cannons. So, Marco, if you're still here, you were wondering where the footage was of the stun grenades. Voila. Patience, my friend. Patience. There you get it. There you go. The sound is not gone. Now you guys are just playing games. Kurt Yo just subscribed. Well, thank you, Kurt, for becoming a subscriber to Chris Wyatt Africa. Folks, if you're new to the channel, and some of you are streaming in for the first time, welcome. This channel is about events on Africa, but a big focus on South Africa, which has been one of my first interests in Africa for a long time. And at the risk of getting advice from Ronaldo Jos will tell me not to do this. It is important to do this because when I don't do this, we find out people tune into the channel, don't watch the videos, don't watch the streams, and they make fraudulent claims about me. Ronaldo, if you saw the racist bigotry spoken about you on Twitter yesterday, and my name was thrown in there, I wasn't even involved in it, and I saw some bigoted black nationalist racist calling me names, saying I'm anti-black, which is a bunch of horse manure. So just to make that clear, Neil Engelbrecht, thank you so much for subscribing. Very quickly, saw someone is copying you and hosting a live stream. Yeah, that's probably the case, Ronaldo. I saw that. But folks, just to let you know, before we get some more coverage here, while we're waiting for Mornay to come back, who's currently tied up coordinating security, let me share with you very quickly, folks. I'm Chris Wyatt, retired U.S. Army Colonel, retired from U.S. Army in October 2019 after 36 and a half years service, including 3 tours in Germany, including during the Cold War, at the end of the Cold War, and then later on as a private sergeant, lieutenant captain, and as a lieutenant colonel. Served in the U.S. Africa Command when I was in Germany the last time. Served a tour in Italy, combat tours in the Balkans, Iraq, and then, of course, peacekeeping and other things. I served in 8 countries in Africa. Books Villon is just subscribed by a donkey. I served in Tunisia, Liberia, Botswana, Malawi, Niger, Mauritania, Uganda, and Ethiopia. Tunisia, I attended l'École d'État-Major, the Tunisian Staff College. And I've worked in over 30, close to 40 countries in Africa for brief periods of time. Published author, and I've run HIV, Ebola, tuberculosis programs, peacekeeping. I've trained military for respect for civil authority, Geneva Conventions. I've done exercises with African militaries, and been involved in development, building schools, clinics, highways, things like that. Lived all over the continent. So for those of you who haven't been here before, that's a little bit about me, so you know about it. Where is he from? Not a South African accent. He was born in Neptune. Who is we? Charmaine Smith is having a go at it. There you go, folks. Dominic Torian Gaming has just subscribed. Well, thank you so much for that. Yes, lovely, folks. Just a moment here. I got to type a message. There you go. So anyway, so I had to send a message out to somebody. Let me see if I've got any updates here on this. What's this one here? Let me get this one very quickly. Someone else has sent me a link and see if I can get this thing to come up. Okay, and we'll see what this one is here, very folks. That's a little bit about me if you're new to the channel. I cover Africa. I also cover rugby. We have a segment on the channel called Rugby Ascended, and I cover politics in the USA, which has been the newest segment of late on my video. So this one's about... Oops, hang on, folks. This is a good view from afar. This one is in Brackenfell once again. Let me bring you this one, folks. Here we go. Spirits just subscribed. Well, Spirits, thanks. Do you prefer brandy or scotch? Here we go, folks. Here you go. This one's from Brackenfell as well.
Now they're all parked.
I love it.
Oh shit, yeah, they're all crowding down. Oh, they're stuck. Sticky stuck in the mud. Stuck in blue fucking paint, yeah.
Well, folks, yeah, you did see blue water there, which, of course, is probably likely, possibly has blue dye in it. I can't confirm that, but very likely to be the case. But quite entertaining to see the cowards from the economic freedom fighters run. As I caution people before this event, the parents who were quite emotional, upset about this, Bro Plays just subscribed. Hi, Murray, I think just subscribed too. And Tunes Duprier, thank you for becoming a subscriber. Royston Isaac, bye Donkey, for becoming a subscriber. As I warn and caution people ahead of time, parents should stay away from the event because it's likely to become volatile and you're not defending your children. You may feel that way, but that's not the case. As you can see, in this case, the South African Police Service for once has things largely in hand. They did not allow the destruction of property, and these folks have become a threat or danger. And you notice the police didn't just take this half-hearted. You see that they picked a strategic location on both ends to channel the EFF away from the school when they became a threat. Well done so far on the part of the South African Police Service. It isn't often we get to compliment them for their conduct. We have seen them abuse people during rallies, previously lawful assemblies. This is clearly an unlawful assembly, a criminal act by the economic freedom fools, fighters. I'm not sure which they really are. It's really just a domestic terrorist group, in case you're not aware of that, folks. And by the way, where's Exalted, the wonderful, the great, the only, the head of state? Oh, I'm sorry, he's not a head of state, but you can understand my confusion because, of course, he gets a 26 police car escort to show up in Senegal on the 16th of October. And the Exalted seat, the person with no standing before the court, sitting in the courtroom for the bail hearing for the accused murderers of Brendan Horner. And who were we talking about? Of course, the one and the only inconvenient youth, one Julius Malema, the instigator himself. Maurice Maidmonth just became a subscriber. Thank you so much for that. Where is the Exalted Juju? Where is Juju at? The great and wondrous Oz. Where are you at, Juju? You seem to be absent, you cowardly little tubby boy. Where are you at, Juju? I don't see Juju. Where's Juju? It's like, where's Waldo, folks? He can stir up a mess and sit in comfort while his little minions go out and cause the chaos. Folks, you've seen the EFF in their national colors of yellow. That red fades to yellow when you wear it too often. And so we've seen them out there right now, folks, running away like little cockroaches that they are. Little cockroaches. Yeah, apparently they didn't hand out enough streetwise meals, so these people weren't dedicated enough to the situation. Philippe Odendal has just become a subscriber. Thank you so much. By the way, folks, Juju's looking for Zuma. Well, they're not the best of friends, by the way, folks. That's how Juju made his name, by being discourteous to him. Rainier Creek has become a subscriber. Thank you so much for that. Yeah, that's how Juju made his name, of course, as the head of the ANC Youth League, a little communist wing of the pseudo-communist African National Congress. Folks, you can also support the channel by becoming a member if you like, and if you're a South African, it's only 10 Rand, 9 Rand 99. Anyway, so there's a little bit of e-begging. If you want to become a member, you can do that by smashing the button below there and get access to members' perks events. So Ronaldo says, at this rate, you're going to surpass Morning Shot. Ronaldo's starting trouble. I think Morning Shot's here this morning. Well, let me see if I've got any updates very quickly from Morning, folks, if we got any news update there. What do we got here? I got some videos here. What's this? This is from someone else that sent it to me. Let me download this very quickly. Taking a moment to download the data, folks. So just this must be a longer video. Takes me a moment to do that. So if I can see if this is what there we go. I'm going to pride this. This one's from a distance, but it is helpful nonetheless. Okay, so I'll get that one loaded up, and then I've got one more after that, so let me get that. The thing is, when I play them, they play right side up. Now, that one I already have, so I already have that video. People send me some things. So this one came in from Rob. Craig Adams just become a member. That should come up on the screen. By the way, folks, when you become a member of Chris White Africa, as a retired colonel, I salute you, and thank you for your service. And there it is. If you want to do a screen capture, Craig. So what that's all about, folks, is that soldiers in medieval times began to show their hands like this to show that they weren't armed. Heinrich Schultz has just become a subscriber. Thank you for that. They would show their hands like this to show they weren't armed. Most people are right-handed. I happen to be left-handed. Most people are right-handed. So they would show their hands like this to show they're not armed. Eventually, that became a salute like this as a sign of respect. And subordinates offer that to those who are senior to them, and seniors must return the salute. But if you become a paying member of Chris White Africa, I render a hand salute to you as a sign of respect for thank you supporting the channel financially. So thank you very much for that, Craig. Yeah, so let me get this video up here. This is another one showing the EFF out there doing their stuff. Ladies and gentlemen, if you haven't been to a police station to lay charges to get them, JMC has just been a subscriber. Thank you so much for that. If you haven't been out to lay a charge against EFF, feel free to do it, because these clowns have broken the law and they violated a court order from the judge. So here we go. Let's get this video up, folks. Get this one here. That's the most recent one that's come in. All right. Hopefully, oh, see, I got to turn that again. Don't you love that? Didn't come up right. Hang on a second, folks. There you go. That's a quick one, just a quick one from a distance. Someone obviously took that from a safe distance. What else we got here? People in the chat, have you seen the video of Jack Markovitz? No, I have not seen that, Jason. Yeah, anyway, folks, so we're getting updates. Should have Mornay from Bourligon back on the channel here shortly with an audio call, and we'll see what's up. He said give him about 10 minutes. So we'll see. That was, when did I last talk to him? Just a second ago. Let me just double check that, make sure we're not. All right, give him a few more minutes there. We'll give him a call. Anyway, folks, you see the events unfolding here in the Western Cape today. Now, this all stems, ladies and gentlemen, for those who don't know, I suspect virtually everybody in South Africa knows exactly what this stems from. This stems from a news report from a whistleblower, in other words, a narc, who for some reason had an axe to grind and claims his life is in jeopardy, and he's in hiding now because he reported to news that a whites-only party took place. Alan de Bastos has just subscribed. And the EFF, pouncing on anything that they can turn into a racial situation, decided that this was a crime. And so they were going to be upset about this and protest. They showed up illegally in front of Brackenfell High School, threatening students in the midst of exams. And then they came back a few days later. Parents showed up. There were altercations, and unfortunately, the parents were emotional and didn't show restraint. And of course, people will attack me for saying, well, Chris, you weren't there. No, I wasn't. I didn't have to be there. Exactly what I warned people not to do, they did, and they engaged the people. And no one sees a video of the EFF throwing rocks at the parents, inciting them. What they do see is parents snatching the beret off of a guy and then assaulting black South Africans in the streets. And that's the images that went out to the world, folks. And then when I did a follow-up video to this, a lot of people said, well, yeah, you have to understand. What do I have to understand? That you don't get the strategic picture. You only get the little tactical picture. No, I do understand it. As I shared with people on their comments in my video today, we had a similar problem here in the United States. The problem there was that our leaders, the President Lyndon Johnson, the Defense Secretary McNamara, and our leading general Westmoreland all were morons and saw tactical victories as the answer to the Vietnam crisis. We did not identify the enemy's center of gravity. The enemy correctly identified our center of gravity, which was public opinion, and we were defeated in Vietnam. We did not win in Vietnam because they could not see the bigger picture while they were winning little tactical battles. Dip Dyed Panda just gave a super chat. It's a stripper chat. Thank you so much for that, Dip Dyed Panda. Appreciate that super chat. They did not see the big picture, ladies and gentlemen. They did not see the picture. And we were divided as a society, as we saw, especially after the Tet Offensive in 1968, in which America was shocked because their political leaders had told them that we were winning in Vietnam. And we were winning in Vietnam. We weren't losing. In fact, Tet was a disaster for the Viet Cong. The Viet Cong were wiped out as a fighting force completely as a consequence of Tet. Nearly all their fighters were captured or killed in that. Unfortunately, the images of the American embassy under assault and virtually every city in South Vietnam coming under attack simultaneously was enough to convince the leftists in society that we were losing the war, when in fact we weren't. Conrad Chan just became a subscriber. Thank you for that. And what happened in Vietnam is the tide turned against us. Society became divided. We saw what happened at the Democratic National Convention in 1968, in which the leftist Democrats of today, leading their party, cut their teeth and showed us what violent thugs they are. The Democratic Convention in 1968. And so that's how we got a divided society. And very much like a divided society amongst minorities in South Africa who continually bifurcate and divide themselves. Well, you're not a Boer because you're not a farmer. Well, you're not an Afrikaner because you're not white. Well, you're not this because you're not this. Get over yourselves. Work together and unite. I've said this message repeatedly, folks. South Africans unite. Stan Sam, South Africa, Stan Sam. You really need to stand together, folks, because you need to stop bifurcating. EVO Racing just subscribed. Captain Chaos upgraded his membership to platoon leader. Captain Chaos, I don't think the upgrade will come up. If it doesn't, I'll give you the salute in just a moment. You can get a video capture. It won't have that on the screen, but I'll do it just the same. Folks, you have to stand together and stop fighting each other. Seriously, you have 29,000 commercial farmers with their family members, maybe 300,000 people who are Boers living on the farm. That's it. You have 2.8 million Afrikaans-speaking white South Africans. You can't stand that group, even if you're all united. 4.8 million white South Africans, not enough. 7 million colored South Africans, not enough. 1.2 million Indian South Africans, not enough. You throw them all together, you've got about 13 million. You start throwing in people who have similar views and similar history and experiences with those groups of people, including the Tswana speakers of South Africa, another 4 million. The Basotho in South Africa, that's another 3 million. Suddenly you have 19, 20 million South Africans who are already angry. Not to mention all the Zulu, the Xhosa, the Venda, the Ndebele, the Siswati, and all the other black South Africans who are hot full of the African National Congress. And this nonsense you see unfolding in Brackenfell, ladies and gentlemen, you have a constituency of people, if you reach out to them, who feel the same way you do and have had enough. This is not a black and white issue. Do not let the racist and the economic freedom fighters and those within the ANC turn this into a racial issue. It's not. It's not. These are lies. This is obfuscation. This is smoke and mirrors. Pay no attention to that man behind the curtain, the great and powerful Oz. Ladies and gentlemen, don't be suckered in. Don't be suckered into this nonsense. Don't let these people do this to you. You cannot buy this line. Anyway, so let me see if I can call Mornay now. I'll send him a note and see if he's free now. But and hopefully we can get Mornay back on here, get an update as to what's going on. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning into this live coverage of the events unfolding in Brackenfell High School in the Western Cape. We most recently saw the water cannons and flashbang grenades, and Marco was so desperate to see in his effort to trip me up and claim, I assume he was claiming fake news. I don't know what he was looking for here, but we did show you that video, and I can play that again. We'll do that again in just a moment here for those who didn't see it. If you're curious, we'll take a look at that, and we'll bring that up for you. So, what else we got on here? So I get some more, no more videos. Okay, I thought I had another video there. Anyway, so I'm dependent on videos coming from folks in the field. So in the meantime, I can keep you updated on events. But of course, this was tied to this this alternative dance event, this ball that took place because the school canceled the ball. And so a group of parents put together an event, and some students, 42 of them, went to it. Turns out they were all white, apparently. So I guess that makes it a racist event. Strange. Nobody goes to Alexandria and asks why there are no whites, no Indians, no coloreds living in Alexandria. Does that make the poor people living in the slums of Alexandria racist? Somehow I doubt it. But the SABC does feel it's perfectly appropriate to rock up to a squatter camp outside Pretoria where only poor white Afrikaans-speaking residents are at, and ask the bewildered Afrikaans speakers, are you racist? Is there a reason you don't allow white or black people to be in your hovel? That's the South Africa that people are living in today, ladies and gentlemen. That is the South Africa that people are living in today. Absolutely crazy stuff. I didn't trip up or claim anything. Marco, okay, well, you did. You said, I didn't see any flashbangs. Okay, what were you asking for there? You never did respond, or if you did, I missed it. My apologies to Marco if I misrepresented what you said. No, I asked you a question. You didn't respond. You don't get to type something in the chat and just run off. You asked the question in the chat, or you made a statement in the chat, and I put it up there. And if I misrepresented what you said, again, my apologies. But let's not throw nonsense and shade into the chat and then not respond to it. What else? Does anyone have a live stream? Not at the moment, folks. We don't. Let me see if I can't get him up here very quickly again. All right. No, he's still not available. Anyway, so there you go. So anyway, back to that. So again, Marco, third time, my apologies, but you got to be specific if you're going to contribute to the chat, because we will ask people what they've got to say there. So anyway, thank you so much for sharing that. This event has led to now 3 different. We had the Pan-African Congress show up earlier this week, unannounced, along with some EFF supporters, and they wanted to start some trouble there. So, yeah, there you go. Here we go. Here's another one, folks. Let me bring this one up now. This is also from ENCA, so I'm going to bring this one up for you. And Danny Hanger just donated Super Chat. Thank you so much for that Super Chat, Danny. I appreciate that. And let's go ahead and get this coverage right here of this updated video coming in from Brackenfell right now.
We can see, let's stay with those visuals, what's happening on the other side. The police dispersing seemingly those hundreds of EFF supporters whom we saw marching and stuff, and also using a fire hose, hosing down the water hose and dispersing that grouping of hundreds of EFF supporters. Ronald, what can you tell us?
Absolute chaos, Bracken, as you can see. Hundreds of people running around the streets in Brackenfell as the police have dispersed fire cannon, water cannons. We've also seen quite a number of people just running in different directions, Bracken. You also, the tear gas is in my eyes at the moment, Bracken, so I'll have to leave it for now.
Okay, you're not able to tell us anymore. Of course, you are also choking there a little bit, affected by the tear gas. What we've witnessed just a short while ago, as we saw those visuals and we heard from Ronald Masinda, police deciding to fire tear gas canisters and use water cannon to disperse more than 100, obviously, several hundreds of EFF supporters.
All right, folks, so there you go. That's the same video that we showed a short while ago. That was not updated. My apologies for that, but I think a lot of people weren't here and saw it, so just as well. Ronaldo, thank you for the super chat. Ronaldo said, best live stream of this event on YouTube today. Everyone else is copying, and to copy is sloppy. Well, I agree. Yako Masteron is just subscribed. I agree with you, Ronaldo. No dispute on that one. Thank you so much for that. Lee Robertsay gave a super chat as well, a stripper chat. Thank you for that, Lee. Appreciate it. Folks, while everybody's focusing on this event in Brackenfell, and a lot of people were making comments, a lot of keyboard warriors, well, a line must be drawn in the sand. We must do something. We must be present. And my questions to people were, what are your plans? What are your ingress and egress routes? What aerial surveillance do you have? Do you have planes? Do you have drones? Al Weir just became a subscriber. Thank you very much for that. Do you have medics and an aid station? Do you have armored vehicles? Do you have evacuation routes, CAS-evac in place? Do you have combat medics? What about your body armor? What shields, what batons, what face mask do you have? Emmanuel Masako has just become a subscriber. Thank you for that. What is your plan? Who are the leaders, and how are you going to control them? How will you communicate? Brick radios with mobile phones, with tactical radios? How, folks, you see where this is going? If you don't have a plan and you're not prepared in a proper fashion, then you get what you got from the economic freedom fighters. You see what happened to them? Water cans turned on, they ran like little cockroaches. Folks, if you rocked up there and you got in the midst of this between the police and the EFF and found yourself in the middle of that, Jacob Boda subscribe, thank you for that, then you wind up running the risk, ladies and gentlemen, of becoming a casualty yourself. That doesn't help your children. That doesn't set a good example for them. Finding yourself locked in prison on a Friday, not unable to get bail. By the way, other questions I ask is, where are your lawyers at? Do you have lawyers lined up? Are they at the courthouse waiting for when those inevitably who will be arrested show up in jail so you can get them out before the weekend and get a hearing before a judge before the day's over, which is unlikely. So they spend the weekend in jail with their children unattended to. You need to think of these things out. And while people were focusing emotionally on this event in Brackenfell, what was happening? Dozens of trucks were burned and looted and attacked last night with petrol bombs in South Africa on multiple highways. There is a war raging in South Africa, and it is being instigated by the economic freedom fighters. So while people are losing sight of what's going on, ladies and gentlemen, there is a war going on. You need to think strategically. Little tactical victories do you no good. And you had a huge strategic loss last week, propaganda-wise, for South Africans when the UK's Sun newspaper ran images of white South Africans, one with a bat beating on a pudgy black lady, let's use a polite term, and a couple black South Africans being beaten to the ground by white South Africans. Not a good scene, folks. Not a good argument to make the case that minorities are being discriminated against in South Africa, which is in fact the truth. And unfortunately, people say, well, we don't care about the international community. Well, great. Don't care about the international community. But that's a very short-sighted position and a very uninformed position to make that claim. You want to go it alone? Go ahead. You've gone alone on your own before and failed miserably. So think about that. Anyway, just a little bit of advice to people. Mr. Pats, one just became a subscriber. Thank you so much for that. Did Marco leave? All right, well, bye, Marco. Bye. So, Marco, you can come in my chat and say things in my chat, but I can't address you. And your feelings are hurt. Nobody even knows who you are, Marco. It says Marco. It doesn't say Marco Duprier, Marco Andreessen, Marco Jones, Marco White. It says Marco. Relax. Good Lord. Talk about thin skin. My goodness, ladies and gentlemen. My goodness. Absolutely crazy. Anyway, so what else we got here? Here we go. What's this? Let me see what this one is. I'm getting a feed from someone else here very quickly. Martin Havanga just subscribed. Well, thank you, Martin, for subscribing. Appreciate that. It's very kind of you. Folks, we are looking at things coming in from what's happening in the Western Cape at Brackenfell this morning. For me, it's 4:04 in the morning here, ladies and gentlemen. Quite early to be up and cover this. Olaf is back. Good to see you there, Olaf. Okay, is this the same kid? I think we saw this. No, we already saw this one. Someone sent me this. This is the white EFF kid. I don't want to hear that again. I don't even want to hear that again. That guy was just a little off the deep end there. So it's this, a lot of that $500 billion went towards 5,000 new shacks that sprung up in urban areas. Yeah, folks, if you're angry, while we're focusing on Brackenfell, behind the scenes, as I said, trucks are being looted, burned in the dozens around the country. And in addition to that, the African National Congress is absconding with money donated and loaned by the international community. Who is asking, other than me, about the $285 million that the African National Congress got from the African Development Bank in July? The $1 billion from the New Development Bank, or the BRICS Bank, in August. And the $4.3 billion at 1.1% interest rate, which is essentially a gift because inflation is greater than 2%. And so the money will be paid back valued at less than it was borrowed at. But $4.3 billion from the International Monetary Fund. Ladies and gentlemen, that's $5.6 billion or 90 billion rand. 90 billion. Where's that money at, folks? Where is it at? Did it go to the Tourism Relief Fund? No. Did it go to the Unemployment Insurance Fund? No. Did it go? Where did it go? $5.6 billion. Where is it, folks? Those are the questions people should be asking. You should be castigating your government to ask them where this money is at. Why are people not doing that? Why are they not doing that? Now, that's an interesting question there. I think you should be asking that question, folks. We saw South Africans get along regardless of ways. Yeah, Mojo Stevo. Yeah, I agree. And in fact, in my experience, most South Africans do get along despite race. I know lots of black South Africans, lots of whites, a fair number of coloreds, not so many Indians. I know a few Indians. And the ones I know get along just fine. And that's in the Northwest Province. That's in Gauteng. That's in the Western Cape. That's in KZN. Never been to Port Elizabeth, so I can't speak to that. We'll have to trust Ronaldo and those from Port Elizabeth as to the relations in that part of the country, but never been there. Been to Limpopo. I've also seen that people get along just fine for the most part. These are race-baiting, race merchant agitators who have a bankrupt political policy and no solutions to the problems that they've created in South Africa. Hence, they use race as a weapon to divide people. There you go, folks. They divide people based on race. That's the truth. Plex Beat says, I live in the best suburb in Polokwane. White schools, aka Afrikaans schools, home language Afrikaans. Fact. Oh, there, Polokwane. There you go. A former Petersburg in the north there of South Africa. Go for gold. Go to Austria where your head may be separated from your body. Okay. Well, that's a scary thought. PE is great. Only Cape Tonian to love this place, says Patrick. For some reason, Patrick, I've always thought you were an American that used to be in the military. I knew somebody had the same surname every time I saw you on Ronaldo's channel. So interesting to see you here. Welcome, folks, for listening in this morning. Let me see if I can get Morney back from Boer Legion here. Gave him about 15 minutes. I don't want to pester him, but I'm going to try it anyway, see if we can't get him here. Let's see if I can't get him on here. I won't put him on a speakerphone. So Marisa writes, I know a guy named Wrights. He was the security cooperation officer and attaché in Botswana. Sounds like Morney is tied up. Okay, I'm not going to harass him. Okay, so I'll drop that there. It looks like he's busy, so we won't do that. Anyway, folks, what else we got here coming in? That video, by the way, is nearly an hour ago. So events, we haven't got any recent updates from what's happening in Brackenfell. Nicholas says, we can ask Chris, but the ANC will not answer. They won't hold themselves to account. They're a corrupt party. Small percentage of us that want to hold them to account have no real power. Yeah, that's true, Nicholas. That is true that you can't hold them to account, but you can certainly remind them and remind the public. You know, a lot of people, when I talk about solutions for the issues in South Africa, because you get a lot of, well, you just complain. Not true. You're not listening. You're not watching the videos. You're just going to them and commenting on them, because obviously you're not watching my videos that I prepare, because I offer solutions for South Africa. And when I talk about political solutions for South Africa, people complain, but they're most of the people that aren't involved in the process who don't do anything. And, well, you never defeat the ANC. Well, you're not looking at the numbers, folks. You're not paying attention to what's happening with the ANC as its popularity has plummeted. It got just 10.5 million votes in the 2019 election. Just 10.5 million, down from record numbers when they first started. Every election, they've gotten less vote. They may have gotten a higher percentage from time to time, but they've gotten less and less. And this time, just 58% of the popular vote. That's a nationwide election. In municipal elections, they nearly lost control of all the metros last time. And in 2021, they should surely lose control of all of these metros, folks. They should lose control of all these metros. Lee Roberts says, 406 likes, hit that button. I guess people are looking for violence and for me to be screaming at people, so they're disappointed not getting that. You'll get that sometimes, folks, if you watch Chris White Africa. I am, I guess, infamous or famous for some of my rants, which people seem to enjoy for the most part. Some people don't like them. They tend to scare kids because I guess people think I'm Santa Claus, but with this beard that I've been growing lately. Denver and Jaco van der Westhuizen, Denver in September, says EFF must fall. I agree. The EFF must fall, ladies and gentlemen. The EFF is a bunch of race merchants masquerading as a political party. And you could see this for years as they tooled around inside of Parliament wearing their prison suit pajamas. You know, their prison suits, the little red suits there, looking like they're all sitting as felons in prison, acting the fool in the Parliament, disrupting Parliament, being disrespectful, spewing their racial bile and hatred at every turn. They are just a bunch of buffoons. And the buffoon in charge, the head buffoon, is one Julius Malema, a man who incites violence against white farmers and who calls for the arson of farms and spends 20 minutes at Senegal spewing racial hatred, all of which should have got him a charge for crimes against the South African Constitution and for hate speech. The South African police and court system, Sean DeLonge just subscribed, thank you. The South African police and court system seems to have plenty of time to arrest Vicky Momberg for being disrespectful to a police officer when she was in the midst of being in shock. Of course, she was prosecuted for that crime and imprisoned as a felon, as a common felon for speech. Julius Malema gets up and attacks 4.8 million South Africans with his racist, vile language at Senegal for 20 minutes with a bullhorn or a microphone, and not a damn thing is done to him. He also incites violence and domestic terrorism against cliques, and not a damn thing is done to him. 44 cliques locations around the country attacked. One was firebombed, petrol bombed with a Molotov cocktail by his thuggish supporters wearing their red berets, most of them vastly overweight. You have to wonder about what exactly it is they've missed out on life, because they don't seem to be very fit. So clearly they're not getting starved by events in South Africa. It's quite rich to see some jackass like Julius Malema complain about apartheid when he has no ties to apartheid. And blaming white South Africans who were born after that political dispensation ended is just comical. Of course, we saw a young white South African who's delusional, but let's get that up again. I guess that was actually entertaining. So let me see if I can get that one back up again. This is the other clip. I thought I said I wasn't going to play it, but we haven't had a video for a few minutes, so let's just go ahead and play this clown, folks. Here we go. We are going to find this. By the way, where is Julius Malema at, ladies and gentlemen? Threatened to come to Brackenfell's repeatedly. Did you see him amongst the cockroaches running there? Ooh, will that be interpreted interpreted as a slur, cockroaches? No, those folks were running like cockroaches, irrespective of who they were. And by the way, as we can see, they have support amongst white South Africans. So clearly, it's not a racist comment to talk about them as cockroaches. But let's get this young fellow who seems to be wildly confused about life in South Africa. Here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, here he is. Let's get him back up there.
Is the same as every single white neighborhood in the whole country.
All right, sorry about that. That of course is Facebook, which is not the friendliest site.
The racism of these people. The only difference is here that it's more open and violent. I went to a private school with mostly white kids, and this thing happened all over. We had parties where we didn't invite the black kids. Black kids only hung out with each other. It's a violent space to grow up in this country. Nothing has changed. It's only gotten worse in the past 30 years. And today I think we want to have that confrontation with these whites. I saw these private security guys standing there with their guns. They're threatening us. The PPA has been threatening us. It's a violent state to live in. And today I think it's time we fight back.
Well, there you go, folks. There's a delusional racist right there. Actually, seriously, worse than it was 30 years ago. You weren't even a thought in somebody's sack 30 years ago. Jay Dupes just gave a super chat. I have an open complaint with BBC over fake news and how they were very one-sided. They've not reported farm murders, but have on Brackenfell. Yeah, no, the BBC is absolutely... Oh, hang on a second here. This is stupid Facebook. The BBC is not. And that's why I warn folks, they're not going to cover events. That's why I cover these events, because it's not being done. The kid is absolutely delusional. He's a soy boy snowflake. Worse than 30 years ago, he wasn't a thought in somebody's sack 30 years ago. He doesn't know what was going on 30 years ago. He didn't experience it. He doesn't know what he's talking about. It's like these jackasses in America. Systemic racism. Systemic racism. It's horrible in this country. I'm sorry. Did you live during the Civil Rights era? Did you live during federally ordered, court-ordered, mandated busing? Did you get taken out of your school and sent to a school in a dodgy neighborhood, even though your parents pay taxes for a good school for you to go to because of the color of your skin? Or did you get sent to a good school from a dodgy school and found yourself a tiny minority in a sea of other people and found it very uncomfortable? No, you didn't. You know what you're talking about. These people worse than 30 years ago. What a moron. What an utter moron. That was the second time he spoke. You see the press put a camera in front of that guy. Oh, these white security guards armed over here. Well, of course they're armed. You expect them to be unarmed? When people coming there violating court orders, you doofus, retarded clown. Violating court orders, coming in the hundreds of EFF supporters coming there with weapons, and you expect people just to show up or to not be there? What a clown. What an utter clown, folks. He was born free. He is a complete idiot. He doesn't know what he's talking about. Absolutely clueless, folks. Tell him to hand back his education, take off his glasses, and then force his parents to hand over their wealth. Yeah, exactly. No idea. He said, we didn't invite blacks. Okay, so you admitted you're the racist then. If that's your stand for racism is not inviting black people to your parties, you're a racist, dingus. You just said you didn't invite black kids to your parties. Why? What's your problem? Is your mental defect? Are you mentally defective? It's unbelievable, the hypocrisy of the little jackass, and he doesn't see it. Yeah, he's trolling for the EF. Absolutely. Of course he is, Brent. Of course he is. But that's the footage that will be shown in the United Kingdom. That's the footage, if any footage, will be shown in the United States. That little clown will be the one that will be interviewed by the two clowns who are string reporters for the New York Times and their big race merchants in South Africa who report on these events and get press and ink in South Africa. They're the ones who report on Senegal. And what they said about Senegal is that busloads of EFF supporters came down from Johannesburg and from Gauteng, where they were greeted by whites pining for apartheid and nostalgic for apartheid, and who were taunting them with weapons as a couple of them sang the band song Shoot the Boer. No, that's not what happened. They weren't taunted by people nostalgic for apartheid. They came to Senegal in force. They claimed to be there to protect public property, which is not their role in life. It's not the role of people gathered up off the streets and handed three-piece meals from a KFC and T-shirts and a couple rand and sent down to Toy Toy. It's not their responsibility to protect state property. That's the responsibility of the South African Police Service, the National Intelligence Defense Force, and of the bureaucracy of the government, but not the EFF to come down and protect state property. Who do they think they are? And they didn't protect state property. They tore down street signs and they smashed concrete rubbish bins and left refuse all over the place. Yeah, come on. This is a fraud. And you all know it. You know it's a fraud. Bongani and Guenya, if we want to hand over his wealth, I'm more than willing to take it. Bongani says, that's right. He's welcome to hand his money over to Bongani. And Bongani, you're welcome to Super Chat. That's hilarious. That's hilarious. Willem Christian Steenkamp says, teachers not leaving school, parents got calls to come and collect. They stopped the exams. Kids say they cannot write under this pressure. Okay, I'm a little confused, Christian, because the school announced that the exams were canceled and that they weren't taking place today. Again, I point out, folks, if there was appropriate leadership at this school, which there doesn't seem to be, and I don't know the leaders of the school, so I'm not criticizing anyone in particular, but why haven't they arranged for alternative secure location for students to take their examinations, and should have done it the first time the EFF showed up out of nowhere and harassed the school? Why didn't they do that? Where are the security forces from the school? I saw SAPs out there in force, and we saw some security folks, and we know that Boer Legion is also there in the distance trying to make sure that nothing spills out of control. Bianca van der Wald, welcome to the channel. But I don't see security force for the school. Perhaps they're hidden, which is a good move, but I don't know. But the school should have had students taking the exam at an off-site, a secure off-site, where they can be safe and protected and away from these thugs. Why aren't they doing that? You have a good point there, Willem, Christian, but Steenkamp, but the school bears responsibility in this too. And school wasn't supposed to be taking place today, so I'm a little confused because the school publicly announced. They put it on their Facebook site, so it's a little bit confusing. Bongani says, if you insist. I don't insist, Bongani. You're a college student, but thank you for the super chat. It's much appreciated. Yeah, so there you go. I'm going to see if he's up now. I'll try him again real quick, and I don't want to keep pestering him, but it's now been a little while. Thank you, Phil Robinson, for subscribing. I'm going to try to call Mornay once again, get an update and see if he's available. If he is, we'll get him on here. If not, folks, we have not had any live updates here in at least 35 minutes, so we'll see if we can't get a bit more. Private security has been at school daily for the last 2 weeks. Thank you, Warpy777. That's good. That's what I recommended people do for the past 2 weeks, so at least they're showing some good sense there. Koketsu Montiani, Chris, apparently there's another nearby school which organized a whites-only matrix dance. I don't know anything about that, Koketsu. I also don't know that this was whites-only, too. I've seen information from the Western Cape Education Minister claiming that other people were invited to this. Other people, obviously being people who were not white, were invited. And I don't know the status of that. I didn't get the invitations. I wasn't present. I don't know. What I do know is that when the EFF came out with their BS about racism, let's point out a few things. We see lots of photographs of students at the school, black and white, socializing at sporting events, at dances, doing all kinds of things together, and the EFF comes out and claims it's a racist school. Bit odd for that to be the case. We also see a young black student making claims about racism in the school, but what he's describing is not racism. He's describing his personal feelings of inferiority, and he attributes racism to that. That's his problem. That's his upbringing. That's not the truth there. So I don't know if there's racism at school, but also the fraudulent claim that, well, there are no black teachers, so it's racism. Horse manure. How many white teachers teach in the Eastern Cape? Yeah, how many teachers teach, white teachers are in schools in Alexandria? How many white teachers are hired in KwaZulu-Natal? Virtually none. In fact, I can show you dozens of white Afrikaans qualified primary and secondary school teachers who were chased out of the education system in the late 1990s and the odd decade of 2000s because they were white and they speak Afrikaans. But they were qualified, unlike the sexual predators that were hired to replace them in KwaZulu-Natal who demand sex from prepubescent and pubescent girls in exchange for grades, passing along to many of them their HIV and or unwanted pregnancy, not to mention the damage done to them psychologically by making them sexually active at the age of 11, 12, or 13. Yes, those sexual predators that work for the education system in KwaZulu-Natal. Rian DeLong just subscribed. Thank you, Rian, for subscribing. So what about that? What about that, ladies and gentlemen? No talk about that. Is that racism because the government doesn't hire white teachers in all black districts? No, it's not. It's not racism. Or is it? Is it? If you're going to say it's racism because Brackenfell hires primarily white teachers because they're the ones who live in the area and who are available and who are qualified, but you don't mention the fact that there are no white teachers or colored teachers in KZN and the communities I've just talked about, you can't have a double standard here. So see, this all falls apart intellectually and honestly when you have a conversation with these clowns. Absolutely. Live on DSTV 403, hearing a lot of race BS as usual. Why is Julius still alive? Because he's a useful idiot to the African National Congress conquering line. That's why he's still alive. Once he becomes a problem, he will disappear in a traffic accident. You watch. Or he'll be assassinated like Brett Kebble was. Look like Morney was trying to call me back here. Let me get him back here real quick. We'll get an update from the scene here, folks, live with Morney from Bois-Légion. So if he gets back on. I missed his call. He just called me. Hey, Morney, can I put you on? Here we go. All right, you're back live now, Morney. I can hear you. You're live on the channel. I've got the phone on there. What's going on?
No, we're still waiting, but the police came here on the third time warning us we must leave. Otherwise, we're going to see what's going to happen, and we said we're not going to leave. And then we asked him the question, but tell me quickly, can you explain to us the court order only allow for 100 people? Why are you guys allowing more than that with weapons? So what are you doing about that? And he couldn't give me an answer, and he walked away. So, yeah, we've got problems on our side regarding the police. We allow them to do their job. They promise they will not allow them to break through to us. So we said, okay, we're going to give you a chance to prove yourself. If that's not the case, then we're going to step in. And so we're going to wait. So we're now on a waiting game. They haven't arrived at the school yet. So I don't know. And I know they've only got chance until 12 o'clock to do their thing. And a couple of them was already turned around. So, yeah, so we're waiting. And there's about 5 buses also on their way on EFF members with 55 people inside a bus. So we're waiting.
Well, Morney, I should share with you, we've seen footage that was taken from a nearby building in which they showed the SAPs using water cannons to chase hundreds of EFF supporters away, and also using flashbang grenades. They ran like cockroaches. So the SAPs are doing something that's proper.
Yes, we've got members on the other side as well, residents on the other side of Brackenfell, and they actually go to the police and pinpoint out how the EFF guys is on their way to a liquor store, and they taking their weapons and they hide them. The police just said, no, okay, they're going to investigate. They got into the car and they drove off, ignoring it.
Wow, it's crazy. But where you're at, there's been no trouble so far, correct?
There's a lot of movement where I'm currently standing, and I've got everything, including the conversation with the police, everything for you on has been captured. So once we're done here, hopefully later on today, I will send you all the footage, and then you can decide what you want to do with that.
Right. What we'll do is we'll use some of that footage to make videos, and also use it for the live streams later today for folks when they tune in. I think people can appreciate that it's difficult to do the footage. We're not a media network. You're not a media network. We're just trying to offer objective analysis of what's out there. And so this is a constraint we have. But Morney, thanks a lot. So I'll give you a call back in a little bit and see if this thing disperses. But like you say, they got about 30 more minutes before they are supposed to be out there. But they've already violated the court order. I've encouraged people to go file a case against them with the police stations.
Yes, we've already done that. It's not only one person in Brackenfell. We've asked a couple of them to go and open up a case at the police station, because once they've done that, it will cover us for being here as well. So then they have to investigate and do something about it. But like always, they're probably going to do nothing, because we're the minority.
Yeah. Well, it's you got a lot of merit in your comment there, what you're saying. That's definitely the case. But I will say, and I do give credit when I see it, the actions I saw in the video from SAPS, what I did see, they were doing their job in that moment, and they were doing it effectively. So when they do their job, I'll give them credit, because they often don't do their job.
I agree. I totally agree with you, and that's why we give them a chance on our side to allow them to do their job. And if they can't do it, then obviously we need to step in and make sure.
Well, let's hope it doesn't come to that. I'm hoping it doesn't come to that. But
I also don't hope so. I've been trying to get the people, because there's a lot of people that's sensitive here, and that's got emotions here, and we're trying to keep them in, and we're trying to keep them in place, but it's difficult. It's not easy, but we have to. And we had another discussion with them right now to say, guys, stop this.
So,
You
Morning,
can't s-
I'm sorry to interrupt you, but a good question here. This is one that probably is a good question for a lot of folks because we saw this previously when parents showed up. Someone in the chat's asking, are there other minorities involved besides white people? I know that when parents were there previously, there were coloreds and Indians and some black parents. Do you have a mix of folks there as well?
We've got a mixed group here. It's white people. There's quite a few colored people as well, and there's a couple of black people standing here as well.
Yeah,
So it's not only whites.
Well, that's important for us to get that message out because they keep trying to turn this into race. This is the EFF's game, and many members of the ANC these days try to turn this into race, and they distort what's going on here. It's not about race, but they want it to be about race so they can target people.
Exactly. That's their whole plan, to turn it into race. But that's not what it is about here.
No, not at all.
It concerns residents in Brackenfell, and everybody is not only white. Everybody of all colors are here to support it.
Absolutely. So, Morning, what we'll do is I'll give you a call back in less than 30 minutes just to get an update and see where we're at as this is supposed to wrap up. But hopefully it doesn't come to your folks getting involved. But thank you for the updates so far and for the videos. And I'll be watching for the others coming through. But after afternoon, I'm going to go ahead and probably drop off for a couple hours because I'll be knackered. I got Bram van Straten Springbok on my channel later today, so I got to be fresh for him.
No problem.
And someone told me that Cheslin Colby attended Brackenfell. I didn't realize that's where he went to school at.
Yeah, Cheslin Colby was in Brackenfell School, yes.
Wow.
100% correct.
Wow, one of my favorite rugby players.
Somewhere. Yeah, and Willem Petzer is also here.
Yeah, no, I heard Willem Petz is there, but I haven't heard from Willem Petz. Is he there with you now or nearby?
He was this morning with our group, and then him and two other guys left. I don't know on what side they are currently, but yeah, he's not with us at the moment.
All right, I'll try to reach out to him and see if I can't touch him, but I'll give you a call back in about 20 minutes. But if something breaks, if you want to call me in the meantime, go ahead and do it, okay?
No problem.
All right, bye, Donkey.
Keep well.
Okay, cheers.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye. All right, folks, that's Morning from Boa Legion. Live update from the situation in Brackenfell. Those folks are there in case something does break, and they're prepared for it just in case. But as I mentioned earlier, what we saw, the footage from SAPS from that overhead view, which was quite illustrative of as to what's happening there. We saw a bunch of EFF supporters fleeing like rats from a sinking ship. Interesting to see the ones who were pinned down there. That was quite interesting. I saw someone here say they're in grade 8 at Brackenfell. Well, hang in there, my friend. Don't let these people twist your worldview, whether you are white or black or colored, whatever your ethnicity is. Don't let them twist this into nonsense. Be who you are. Grow up to be a strong South African, and don't fall for this nonsense. And welcome to the stream. Appreciate you being here. Thanks for being in the stream. I hear Brackenfell's a decent school. I've never been. I've driven by there, but I've never been. The judge allowing for this nonsense must be held responsible. Yeah, that's a fair statement there, Rian Negrini. The judge knew full well that they were not going to keep themselves to 100 minimum. So it's disgraceful for allowing that. It's too permissive. You know, for the Black Monday protest that came within 100 meters of the parliament, which of course requires a permit, the city of Cape Town limited Black Monday protesters to just 500. Of course, they abided by that. They had approximately 500, may have been a few more than that, but approximately 500, peaceful, behave themselves, follow the direction of the police there in Cape Town. Valerie and then Yanni, who were responsible for organizing that event, contributing to it. When the police asked them to step away from the gate, they did so. When they asked them to stop recording police officers, they did so. No weapons were present. People were calm. They maintained their social distance. There's no request or no demand on the part of anyone here for these EFF toyers to maintain any social distance as they advance in a menacing fashion towards a school where children attend, to threaten and menace children. What sad, pathetic individuals these. They're really sad. If this is the existence is to menace children, that's how they get their jollies. That's how they feel like real men and real women, is by menacing children and spewing racial hatred. Folks, this is a domestic terrorist organization masquerading as a political party. There's no doubt about it. No doubt about it, ladies and gentlemen. It is a, what's this? What's this? Okay, so Fatal 1110 just subscribed. Thank you so much for that. Court order versus lives. Yep. What else? It's Blade Warrior that said that. Blade Warrior is the one who's in grade 8. Renato Gotardo, just need to petrol bomb the EFF crowd. Nope, that's not necessary. Why would you resort to violence? Let the police do their job. They've done it in this case, it appears. They don't always do it, so let's thank them when they did. Blade Warrior says, yeah, I'll keep that in mind. Well, good for you, Blade Warrior. And then Muriel, don't piss off the colored people. Yeah. Not to stereotype folks, but you don't want to mess with colored folks. You don't want to make them mad. You don't want to make them mad. Vicky Colgeta, did you count the other parties there? Which parties? What are you talking about, Vicky? I'm at a loss as to what you mean. What other parties? Political parties? You mean like Pan-African Congress? I didn't see them. African National Congress? I didn't see them. DA? I didn't see them. No political party should be present. None. This is not a political event. It is being turned into a political event by the economic freedom fighters. But no opposition party should be there. That's not the place to be. Folks, as I've cautioned people on my channel, on my stream, in the prepared videos, is that you shouldn't go at all. You shouldn't be there. Certainly not parents. Do you really want to defend your children by spending the weekend in jail, or worse, being injured or maimed or possibly killed? Now, that hasn't happened from what we've seen thus far, but these are all very real possibilities. And allowing your emotions to control your decisions is not a wise situation. Your future for your children is not healthy if you're in prison, or if you're a convict, or if you're maimed, or you're dead. That doesn't help your children. There's no need for it whatsoever. It simply fulfills an emotional urge, and that's just childish and unnecessary. I'm not attacking the parents. I understand that their situation and their frustration. They shouldn't have to put up with this. But this is not the place or the time for that sort of thing. And so, yeah, it's not really a good idea. But political parties should not be there. They should not be there. What did Nicholas say? I believe the government should be there to condemn. Yes, Ronaldo, I agree that government officials should be there from the Western Cape in particular, but also from the national government. The national government doesn't have to be present, but they should be condemning it from Pretoria or from Parliament right there. Parliamentarians in Cape Town should be condemning it. But the Western Cape government should be condemning this roundly. They absolutely should be. I wonder who the political party is in the Western Cape in charge. But both of them should do it. And as far as Cape secession movements, I don't think they should be there either, because I think someone mentioned that there. You should not be present, but should be in media now condemning these actions, the violence, people coming there armed, threatening and menacing children. It's ridiculous, absolutely ridiculous. It's a South African thing. You won't get it. Ons is trots. Thank you, Kali. That's a very what's the word I want to use here without being disrespectful and rude or being unfair to you, but that's a big assumption on your part. Just like the assumption if someone says, oh, you just don't know, you don't get it, you have to live in South Africa. No, excuse me. I spent a fair portion of my life living in Africa, and I lived in far more dangerous places than South Africa in the midst of conflict and survived. I've also survived attempts in my life in South Africa. So you don't know what you're talking about when you tell me I don't know what I'm talking about, because you don't know. You weren't there. I was. And I've dealt with this. So, it's just, come on, give me a break. Oh, but you don't live with it every day. No, not in Pennsylvania, thank God. No, I don't. But in many of the places I lived in Africa and places I've been to in Africa, I dealt with it each and every day. Were it not for my training and for calm and a bit of good fortune on a couple occasions, I wouldn't be here today. So don't make assumptions about people. It's like the people came in and writing on my videos, oh, you know what you're talking about. You don't know what you're talking about. You really don't. So don't make assumptions and claims about someone you don't know anything about. You don't know who I am. You don't know where I've been, what I've done. If you spend a few minutes researching me, then you'll know. And when people say I can't relate because I'm not South African, that's nonsense. That's nonsense. That's like saying you'll never know what it's like to be a black man. So what? That's not germane. Doesn't mean someone doesn't understand the situation and can't empathize. That's just not realistic. Not realistic at all. What else we got here? DA is a failure, says Denver September. Why is the DA a failure, Denver? Please share that with us. Not defending the DA, just curious why you think they're a failure. And why did Joan Cherry's message get deleted? Now I'm curious about that. Inquiring minds want to know. Joan Cherry's message was deleted. I don't even know who Joan Cherry is. Is this... Oh, yeah, well, that was... okay, Joan Cherry, your message was deleted because it was kind of mean to the young boy, and that someone took it out. So... don't run off. Hang with us. Thank you for subscribing, whoever that just was. I saw Khalil Vessel said, wow, so hostile. I'm chill, man. I'm not being hostile. Okay. Khalil, how about an apology? Wasn't being hostile towards you. Just I dealt with a lot of nonsense last night and stayed up till about 2 o'clock in the morning because people writing nonsense on videos who obviously hadn't watched the videos and talking nonsense about me. Yeah, I didn't see that. Sorry, I'm just looking at a note up here on my thing. One of my moderators missed something that should have been taken out. So let me just get this here real quick. And this was missed. To see if I can get back to it. I don't want stuff like this in here. Folks, let's not advocate violence. That's not acceptable here. Yeah, there it is. I found it. So I'm going to delete that message. Okay, remove that. Okay, so I don't want people. There's another one. There's two of them here. People advocating violence. This is not about violence. Listen, I've dealt with violence. I've been in the midst of it in combat, and I've also seen it in civilian life. It's not pleasant, folks, and it's not necessary. It's unnecessary here. While people are talking and wanting to incite violence at Brackenfell, around the school where children are at, I mean, this whole thing was supposed to be about protecting the children, and then there's people in the chat talking about and starting violence. Even if you're just joking, that's not helpful, folks. It's not helpful. And while we're talking about this, last night, dozens of truckers' lives were disrupted, their vehicles destroyed, and the trucking industry is coming under siege by open warfare. One day, oh man, dude, I cannot pronounce that last name. You're going to have to call him on the show sometime and tell me how to pronounce it. My apologies for that. Ronaldo says 45% of all clean audits in the country are provided by one province, Western Cape. Let that sink in. Okay, it sank in. Yeah. Again, I asked the question, Ronaldo, in defense of the DA. Not that I'm defending the DA, but how did the DA fail? That's an interesting question. Direct elections. I agree. 360 Eagle Eye, you are spot on. South Africa's democracy is flawed. It's not a democracy. You don't vote for candidates. You should be voting for your candidates, not for political party list. That is a 13th century medieval way to do elections. Yeah, I know. You can say, well, wait a second. You're an American. Don't you have a 13th century election? Yeah, we do. That's right, folks. We got a 13th century election right here, stolen right from under our feet. Why? Because somebody allowed leftists to take control of our governments in the states, and they contorted election law and then simply violated it and stole an election. That's right. They stole an election. So there you go. So Helen Zilla helped bring the ANC into power. That's a fact. How is that, John? Because she exposed what the National Party did, its police force did to Steve Biko? Or is there something else she did as a journalist that you say helped bring the ANC into power? That's an interesting take. Thank you, John. But please share that. McSnob Fortune. I love that name. McSnob Fortune. It is violent to train people not to be violent while they face brutal violence daily. People were attacked there, even women, but the EFF is wrong for retaliating. Huh? Nobody was attacked there. The EFF, what are you talking about? Previous events there, McSnob Fortune? Are you talking about that? Is that what you're talking about, McSnob Fortune? Are you talking about the previous event when they showed up and the footage of white parents beating up black EFF members? Is that what you're talking about? Yeah, that event's over. And people who were involved in it, if they were complicit in a crime, should have been charged. But nobody was, except for the gentleman who discharged a pellet gun or a paint gun into the air. So that's on the authorities for not arresting people on both sides that day. Is that what you're talking about? Yeah, we can talk about that if you like. Deborah says the clean audit is based on a sample of 1% of all transactions. Misleading DA is not as clean as they want us to believe. Interesting, Deborah. That's the first time I've heard that argument. No one's ever pushed that forward before. The party list is one of our worst electoral problems with accountability to the citizenry. Indeed, Graham McTaggart, I agree with you 100%, and we know that to be the case. I guess we're losing an audience now because there's no violence. People tune in for the violence. But thank you 1,000 folks who've hung around for this so far. We're going to go at least another 15 minutes or so, folks, to see if we can update. I want to get a final update from Mornay to see what's happening there. And then if there's events continuing, we'll continue if we get more footage. But no videos are coming in. So my analysis, maybe, no, I already got that. Let's see. Make sure I didn't miss another call from Mornay here. Let me double check here. No, I didn't miss call. Okay. So there's no video footage coming in. People like to see violence. I won't keep you here all day, but we will share a little bit more. The Madman says, Chris White, no matter how cool and calm residents are, the first child that gets injured will start a crap storm of note. Well, again, Madman, why are students in the school? Well, you knew this was going to happen. The judge foolishly gave permission for them to assemble 100 of them. Of course, they obviously violated that with hundreds of their supporters there. But why would you even have students at the school? Why not have an alternate location where the students can take their exams? Seems to me to be a shortfall in leadership at Brackenfell High School. I'm just saying. And then there's no students put in any danger. Peter Janssen van Rensburg, secondly, they say they came to protest peacefully, but you do not come with knob carriers and sticks to a peaceful gathering. That is correct. That is absolutely correct, Peter. And you also don't threaten people, as I exposed in the video from a couple days ago. You don't threaten to shoot people in the head with guns. That's just utter nonsense. That person should have been arrested. Luna Nore, why was your message deleted? What else we got here? Clive Grunewald says, great coverage. Hope the terrorists are kept at bay and sent home. Political parties have no place in rioting. Well, Clive Grunewald, I think we'll get along very well. Your sentiments match exactly my sentiments. And I love the fact that your name is Grunewald. That's awesome. That's awesome. By the way, folks, I am wearing a rugby top. For those who are curious, that is my thing. I wear a rugby jersey or some sort of rugby paraphernalia in all my live streams normally. This one here is from the Utah Warriors. This is the hoodie that came out this year. It's pretty cool. Got some nice stripes on it. But this is from Major League Rugby here in the United States. Unfortunately, the season was cut short after just 5 of the 16 games by the hysteria over Wuhan coronavirus COVID-19. So there you go. The Rational Center is silent. Yeah, that's unfortunate. I'm in the Rational Center. I'm not silent, but then I'm not sitting in South Africa for the moment. But I'll be in South Africa soon, and I'll be speaking up. We'll see how long it takes before the ANC finds me and kicks me out of the country. McNob Fortune says, yes, that's what I'm talking about. It's not over just like that. It has been a norm for decades in South Africa. Forgive and forget. Now, see, that's just trolling and lying, McNob Fortune. That's an utter lie. What are you talking about? It's also been the norm for decades for black men to rape white women. But that's not germane here either, and not in minor numbers, in significant numbers. So what's your point here? That it's not been the norm. We've never seen a demonstration outside Brackenfells in which white parents beat up black South Africans who are out there causing chaos and mayhem. These weren't innocent people that showed up. It doesn't excuse the behavior, and it was inappropriate. And I condemn the behavior of those parents. And I lost subscribers in my channel when I condemned them. But so what? I don't care for that sort of nonsense. I told people that was a foolish thing to do, and they didn't listen, and they acted with emotion, and look what happened. But McSnob, your argument is baseless. It's been going on for centuries or decades. What are you talking about? What's been going on for decades? People being abused? Happens on all sides. Emil Bosov, all these guys subscribing. Thank you for subscribing. I'm missing those. But yeah, this happens all the time, and it's done all the time. So what is your point? So you think it's justifiable to continue coming out because of some perceived grievance that you have from some previous time, from some event? Listen, that sort of nonsense doesn't work, McSnob Fortune. Listen, I was abused by black thugs when I was 7 years old. My life was threatened. I was pinned to the ground, and a switchblade brought out and run across my throat and told that I was going to be murdered because I was white. Does that make black people even? Does that mean I get to spend decades starting trouble and beating black people up? No, that's asinine. That's asinine. And McSnob Fortune, I don't know what your skin pigmentation is, and frankly, I don't care. But one would presume, based on your position, that you must feel like you must be an aggrieved black South African, and so you apparently feel affinity for people who have no biological relationship to you whatsoever, simply on the basis of their skin pigmentation. That's just ludicrous. That's ludicrous. I feel a great affinity for Tswana-speaking people of South Africa and the Botswana in Botswana. They don't have the same pigmentation as me. I have a lot in common with them, a special affinity with them, a big special affinity. I also have a special affinity with Afrikaners, both coloreds and white South Africans who speak Afrikaans. But that does not mean that I share any special grievance because of skin pigmentation. Most of those people's skin pigmentation doesn't match mine. So I really don't understand where you're going with this, McSnob Fortune. Please explain what you're looking for here. I am curious. Thank you for sharing. Garth McCarthy says, hey, it was not white parents. It was a community of all that raised defended children. Your statement, white parents being poor, is simply not true. Okay, Garth, I'm going to call out fake comment. Fake comment. In fact, it is exactly what it is. You're not listening to what I said. What I said and what I talked about was you have to be careful because in your foolish emotional response to this, you will give the EFF a strategic propaganda victory. And that's exactly what happened. So Garth McCarthy, I challenge you to go to the UK Sun and show me the pictures of black parents beating up black South Africans and of coloreds. Now, to your point, Gareth, there was a colored South African parent there who was in the fighting and beating up black South Africans, and there were coloreds doing it too. But it doesn't matter. The truth doesn't matter because that's not what the world saw. You're missing the point entirely, Garth. You're missing the point entirely. The world did not see that. What the world saw is what the media chose to show the world. The world didn't see the EFF throwing rocks at parents, pissing them off. What they saw was white parents charging at blacks. And a guy with a baseball bat, and I think it's a baseball bat instead of a cricket bat, with a baseball bat swinging at an overweight black woman fleeing for her life. And a rude white guy ripping a beret off of a black man and then beating him up, and then a young white kid charging and attacking. That's what the world saw. You're missing the point entirely, Garth. It doesn't matter that there were colored parents there. I saw the colored parent who attacked people and then casually talked to the press as if nothing had happened. Well, yeah, we're here because we're supporting this. It's not about race. Yeah, okay, great. It's great. But that wasn't what was seen. What was seen, and no one saw them throwing rocks because that's not what the media chose to show. So, Garth, you're missing the point entirely. And you are misquoting me. I've been very clear about what happened there. Very clear about the EFF throwing rocks and getting in people's faces and starting trouble. But I was also very clear about it was very wrong and inappropriate of that parent to grab that guy's beret. He was looking for a fight and started one. And look what happened. We had a melee. And what was reported in the press? Whites beating up blacks. How are you missing that, folks? That's what I said. Didn't falsely report it. Didn't get it wrong. I hit it spot on. I hit it the nail on the head before the event. I warned people this is what would happen. People ignored me, did what the hell they wanted, and they gave the victory to the EFF. Now, today we see a lot more restraint. Thank goodness. A lot more restraint. And we see people not getting engaged with this, letting the police do their job. Yes, I know people were frustrated with SAPs. They often don't do their job. Oftentimes they abuse minorities, particularly coloreds. Well aware of that. But Garth, you're mistaken. I didn't say that. That's not what I said. That's what the media portrayed. So that's what the world sees. That's what we're talking about. And yes, there were white parents who did it. That's why there's video footage of it. That's why there's photographs of it. And most of the parents who did it were white. That's simply the truth. There were colored and black parents present too. But I deal in facts here, not half-truths. Karen Visa, why did we come to a place where school has to be disruptive to the thugs? Why? Because somewhere on the way to serendipity, the South African public lost interest in holding the African National Congress accountable. White South Africans, by and large, a fair portion of them just don't bother to vote. They're disconnected from the polity and don't get engaged. The Democratic Alliance has done a piss poor job convincing people that they're not a white party. You know, the nonsense that the Democratic Alliance is a white party is just comical. They couldn't rule in the Western Cape if they were a white party. Although the population percentage in the Western Cape of white folks is larger than any other province at 17%, they are only 17%. If only whites supported the Democratic Alliance, they wouldn't rule anything. They wouldn't even be the local dog catcher. The reason they rule is because coloreds in the Western Cape overwhelmingly support the Democratic Alliance, as well as some Xhosa speakers in the Western Cape. That's why they rule in the Western Cape. Simple as that. And that's why in Gauteng they did so well in the last municipal elections in 2016, in which they gained over 17% of the so-called black vote, because they appeal to much more than just a white audience. But they allow themselves to be portrayed by the media as a white party, in part because they've had few black leaders in the party, and the ones they picked have been real winners in many respects. And that's a facetious statement. They aren't real winners. They're not the best choices. Party can do better. So, yeah, there you have it. But that's the perception people have. So, all right, so Ronaldo says, what's this? DA isn't a white party, though. Most of their supporters are coloreds. Okay, Mojo, Steve, you did that. You're saying that it came in right now. I just saw it. I just said that, didn't I? It's not a whites party. Exactly. And it's the DA's fault that allows the press to get away with this and have gotten away with it for years. Helen Zille created a formidable party in the Western Cape when she was the leader of the party and when she was the mayor of Cape Town, the best mayor in the world, and recognized for that with good reason. But the party is still seen from its time when Tony Leon led the party as a whites-only party. And that's because of its origins in the white liberal party way back in the day. And it was a whites-only party before it was the Democratic Alliance. So that's a long time ago, though. That's not the Democratic Alliance. And so it's a misstatement, a misnomer. Oh, and those same coloreds who voted for the National Party in 1994, so apartheid must have been totally evil for more coloreds to vote for the National Party than whites. Huh? John, I'm lost. The same coloreds also voted for the National Party in 1994, so apartheid must have been totally evil for more coloreds to vote for the National Party than whites. Well, John, let's be honest. Most coloreds in 1994 did vote for the National Party, not because they were enamored with it, but because they were terrified of the ANC. And they felt much more in accord and in concert with white South Africans than they did with the communists in the ANC. And that's likely why many voted for it, for the National Party. Yeah. Of course, they left the National Party when it surrendered and merged with the African National Congress later. Most of them left, so there you go. All right. Sure, Ronaldo, I'll get you on here. Let's do that. I'll get Ronaldo on here. We'll chat a little bit. I guess we're going to have a conversation about the DA, and all my audience is going to run away. Folks, hang with me a second as I set up a stream here. Let me do that really quickly. And Ronaldo, I'll send you the link in WhatsApp so that I don't get 8,000 people trying to call in. So just hang tight there, Ronaldo. I will send that to your private number if I've got it here. I think I have it. Here we go. Ronaldo, here's the link. Okay, I've sent it to you. And folks, let me go ahead and pull this up on the screen. Thank you for your patience. Just give me a second there. That's gone. That's gone. And I will get this up in just a second. Thank you so much for your patience, folks. All participants. There we go. Okay, great. Now we got that back. So Ronaldo, you can call in. I need to put an earpiece in so that I can talk to Ronaldo. White Diamond Child, if I choose definitely not colored, hot full party domestic. What are you talking about, man? They voted for them because they knew, like all of us ANC puppets of the West, the truth is ANC are controlled by white Western masters, not Chinese. Wow, John. So who are those white Western masters? Joe Biden? Bill Gates? Who are those white Western masters? Please share with us, John. It's an interesting thesis. Love to know who they are. The Rothschilds, the Gettys. So please share with us who they are. All right, Ronaldo, you're taking too long, man. I'm not going to wait all day. All right, so colors support the community and their parents. Lawrence 007. Here's my idea. So each of the four races respectively gets 25 seats each, but every ethnic group within a race is also equally represented. That's interesting. It's a different approach to things. So let me just make sure that I actually sent it to Ronaldo. I did. Oh, I did. No, I sent it. It's there. Oh, there it is. My bad, Ronaldo. It didn't go through. Okay, there it is. It's there. Ronaldo's got it now. Sorry. My bad, Ronaldo. You have the link now. Check your WhatsApp, and you can jump in with me. So I choose Trump all the way. Well, White Diamond Child, I'm with you. I voted for Donald Trump. Absolutely, unequivocally, without hesitation, without any reservation whatsoever. Trevor Bush says, Chris, we'll do a chat on Jan Smuts. For me, the greatest statement South Africa's produced. Watch the flawed genius of Jan Smuts on YouTube. I might do something on Jan Smuts for the Call of Duty with the Colonel. That's a new segment that I'm creating, folks. I've been asked to do it, to talk about military history, so I will be doing that sometime soon. I'll do the first video on that. Most likely to be for a members perks video initially and then released to everybody else later on. So John Daniel says, not a thesis, it's well documented who put them in power. A book by William Bloom, the CIA, Henry Kissinger, part of the CFR, put them in power and helped them. The power U.S. gives them $400 million a year. Actually, that's not true. What $400 million a year? I'm very well versed in what the United States gives to South Africa when it comes to foreign assistance. So what $400 million a year are you talking about, and who gets it? You're talking about the President's Emergency Program for AIDS relief. You're talking about money for the SADC regional body that's now based in South Africa for the economic program. Yeah, so I'm not sure about that. Interesting. The fact that someone wrote it in a book doesn't mean it's fact. I mean, I just got published in a book. Does that mean what I wrote is fact? Well, it is, but that doesn't mean it's fact because it's in a book. Lots of nonsense is put in books. All right, Ronaldo doesn't seem to be calling in here. Is there a problem with his, what did he disappear to? So, I don't know. He said he was going to call in. So I switched over and have these stupid earplugs in now so I can listen to him, but he's not coming on. Yeah, so the amount that the U.S. gives to South Africa is, you say $400 million a year. So let's just take a look at that. U.S. Okay, U.S. foreign aid to South Africa. Let's take a look at the numbers here. Right. 2017, 511 million. You said 400 million, so 511 million. But how much of that was PEPFAR? How much of that is PEPFAR? 2017. Where's PEPFAR on here? It's not even listed on here. Not even listed on here. Interesting. That's not a correct figure. This is somebody's Wikipedia nonsense. I have to get this from the State Department. That's the place to get it. There we go. Still waiting for Ronaldo. He hasn't shown up here. So South Africa. Okay. Right. 510 million. All right, let's take a look at this. Let's take a look at this and see what the total amount is. I guarantee you a lot of this is PEPFAR. There's Ronaldo coming in. Let's see how much my audience is left now that we're waiting for Ronaldo. Oh, we still got a good audience here, folks. Thanks for hanging around. There's Ronaldo. Did you come on to defend the DA? What's up, man?
No, not at all. I was just I'm trying to set up the mic and stuff, so I'm sorry because I'm
No, it's all right.
not on my iMac.
No, so the majority of the money in 2019, of course, as I said, was for HIV/AIDS through PEPFAR, and then about 96 million to combat tuberculosis, and then about 30 million for combating weapons of mass destruction, and then stabilization, security sector reform, which is 57 million. So, which of that money is going to South Africa? The PEPFAR money doesn't go to the government. Tuberculosis money doesn't go to the government. The weapons of mass destruction and the stabilization, they do. So it's a misleading figure when you say 500 million. It is money that's spent in South Africa, but it is not spent in the fashion that was implied. Anyway, so there you go. All right, Ronaldo.
How's it?
Oh, man. Well, yeah, a little bumpy start there. I had a little trouble getting the stream started early in the morning. Left that microphone off. Bit of a rookie mistake there, but kind of tired, man. I didn't actually get much sleep last night because I was reading comments on my video about Brackenfell and people telling me I don't know what I'm talking about, and that's fine. They're welcome to
Never read the comments. Never read the comments.
No, you have to because people write nasty, racist things in there, and you can't let that stand. So you got to deal with them.
Yeah. So thanks for the amazing coverage today. I mean, it's really, this channel is the de facto go-to for this event today. Congratulations on that.
Thanks.
Secondly, I'm very happy to see that the SAPS is doing their job for once. I haven't like been that satisfied in seeing like, what is it? Water cannons that are blue. Because in the Western Cape, obviously they shoot blue water, and the fact that tear gas and stun grenades that went off, beautiful. It's beautiful. I wish that illegal protests would be dealt with like that more often.
No, they absolutely should. I mean, in fact, the moment this was determined illegal, which is when we saw, I didn't have the best views. The video that I saw, I mean, one of the jobs as a counterintelligence officer is you're trained to estimate crowd size. And surprisingly, it's an art, but you can actually get pretty good at it. And I would say based on the little bit of footage I saw, there were at least 600 to 700 people there for sure, if not more. I would have to get a couple better angles, but clearly more than 100. And then the police did their job and dispersed them. But if you look around, of course, they left some of the refuse on the street, which is a hallmark of the EFF. They're just a bunch of filthy, dirty bastards who leave their refuse everywhere.
Well, that's true. And I mean, obviously, there's going to be a bunch of stones and knopkieries and various different things that are just going to be left there along the side of the road. But I mean, I think that they're regrouping right now. And I mean, that's why there's a lull. I've just checked the news feed or the trend rather, and they are busy now formulating to get 100 people to go because they still want to do it. Because remember, at the school or close to the school, they've got that massive car or the truck set up with the speakers where eventually Julius Malema will come and address them from what I can understand. So that is still happening, but I think they're fighting with the police now on why there should only be 100. So this is like an epic fail for the EFF because they were going to go there in their numbers and everybody was going to sing kill the boot, kill the farmer. So in a way, I'm happy that the police is doing their job because this nullifies the people that didn't listen on this being a trap and them being there. So at least that's a positive, I suppose.
Well, the other piece of this, too, is that their time is up. They had until noon. It's now 12:04 in South Africa, 12:05. So anyone who shows up now is a criminal, regardless of the numbers. So if they show up in front of the school, if there's 5 of them, they should be arrested on the spot. Bracelets put on them. Now, whether SAPS will do that, I don't know. We're seeing in the comments here, Dr. Dolph de Wolf is saying that the police have going to allow 500 of them to walk to school. What's
Well,
your source? What's your source on that?
that's not right.
And why would they be allowing it to happen when they've just dispersed them with water cannons? Why would they be doing that? I have no.
They can't
source
do
on
that. That's bullshit. The police can't do that because if they do that, then it will be in violation of the application that's been granted for 100
Yeah.
to protest.
Now, Garth McCarthy said reported estimated 2,000. I don't dispute that at all, Garth. In fact, if I go back and watch the video, we watched the last one there, that looks like to be at least 2,000 or possibly 2,500 people or more. But I was busy watching what was happening and not estimating the crowd. So I'll go back and look at that after the fact. That's probably a good measure how many people were actually there because they were all trapped in that one city block between two water cannons. So it's a good opportunity to get a good feel how many are actually there. But the video I was referencing, Garth, was the initial one we showed in which they came, and there were clearly more than the 100 that were authorized. So yeah, no, that's probably an accurate figure, at least 2,000, if not more. And I'll take a look at that a little bit later on. But yeah, we'll see what happens with this. But this should be the end of it. That doesn't mean the EFF is dispersed, but clearly the SAPs were prepared. As I said, their tactics were relatively sound here. They had them boxed in so they couldn't advance to the school beyond the gate there. And then they chased them back and they put them in a position where as they went back, they pinned them in and had a water cannon at the other end to channel in the direction away from there to disperse the crowd. A whole bunch of them got trapped like little rats on a sinking ship there in one spot. I don't know if you saw that. That was pretty entertaining.
Be careful, eh? Be careful. Yeah. Don't use rats or cockroaches. Remember what happened in Rwanda, eh? Don't. No, I'm just saying because you know what's going to happen. Real 411's going to be reporting on you, and you're going to be asked because apparently you can't make a reference to something like a cockroach or a rat because that's everybody then goes to Rwanda.
Well, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
My apologies to Hunter Biden then.
Listen, there's a comment from Elizabeth. I mean, I know she means well.
Yes.
She says, if the DA will be condemned if they arrive on site, but people are moaning because they are not, why not just arrive and push the narrative themselves with the media? I think it's not a good thing for political parties to go and intervene there and try and do anything. I think that you should follow the legal procedure going to court. And I also think that it's one of those damned if you do and damned if you don't. As an example, that what's his name from the K Party? I really don't know his name. I'm sorry.
Jack something.
Yeah, Jack. Jack is like, what I find problematic is that he's handing out T-shirts for his political party, and he's got this massive van or one of those advertising things. And it's in my opinion, it's quite sickening that you're using a protest like this that can cause serious violence to promote your political party. I think it's my opinion, but I think it's wrong. I don't think this is the opportunity. This is not where you take an opportunity to advertise your political party. This is where you actually deal.
I agree. That was probably not the wisest thing to do there. And a lot of people jumped in right away and complained about it. Hey, Mornay, can you talk? Okay, hang on. Ronaldo, stay with me here. Mornay, Ronaldo Jose is on the channel with me right now. So go ahead. What's happening?
Okay, we're going to leave the area. The police, I must honestly say, the police are definitely doing what they must do today. Nothing is going to happen because the police is not going to allow them to come in thousands by thousands into Brackenfell as the court orders stipulate only 100 people. Pops is busy negotiating with them to say they will only allow 500, the rest must wait outside. And I must honestly say, they came to us again and said, guys, please, we will do our job. And they've done it so far, and everybody is now leaving. So we're going to leave the area until we hear that people need us. Then we will come back and then sort it out on our side. But we have to give them the opportunity to do their work, to allow them to do their work. And so far, must honestly say, they've done great.
All right, Mornay, but your folks are pulling back to an assembly area so that you're away from the area, but you're there if something goes bad. Yeah, no, I said that you're pulling back away from Brackenfell, but you're in the area, in an assembly area, in case something goes bad.
So, because they asked us and everybody agreed to that, so it's on our side it was peaceful, I'll give the police their credit. So far, they were doing their work and they were doing a great job out there.
All right, Mornay, buy a donkey for all your help. I'll look for the videos later on, and we'll chat later in the day. Okay.
You're breaking up, Chris.
I said thank you so much for the help and the coverage. I'll look for the videos you're sending later, and we'll chat later today. How's that?
Yeah, you probably will have that video footage on our time before 5 o'clock today.
All right, brilliant.
That, and then I will send it to you once we're busy downloading.
Okay, bye, donkey. Thanks a lot. Appreciate it.
Okay, Chris. Have a good day. Keep well.
All right, ciao. A lot of kids there. All right. Yeah, I missed the call when I was setting up for you, Ronaldo, so I just called him back. Yeah, that's Mornay. No reason to apologize. Just I have it on silent. That's why I missed the call. If I don't leave my phone on silent, I never get any rest because it just rings incessantly all day long, 24 hours a day. But that was Mornay from Boer Legion, who was off-site but very close by in Brackenfell, just in case. The advice I gave people to not go, they didn't heed it, but they showed responsible behavior here in not inciting, staying back, and only being a backup auxiliary force. So I'll give them credit for that. And I don't know what's going on with this. As he just said, and it was mentioned here, apparently what DeWolf said must be true. The police are going to let 500 people come and deliver a petition to the school. I don't really get that. That's nonsense. Also, I saw this comment from someone here. It was a lady just did this comment a moment ago about SABC reports a handful of EFF supporters turn up to anti-racism.
Yeah, the media is turning against them. I did send you a video. I'm not sure if you can play the video, but this is them, from what I can see, gathering now to try and regroup and maybe just speak as to what's really going on. And I can see there's at least 2,000 people.
Oh, yeah, there's a lot here. Let me take a look at this really quickly.
So you can play it if you want.
I can't. I just have to download it. Let me, yeah, that's over 2,000 people. Just a quick brief.
But this is them regrouping, obviously.
Yeah. Yeah, those guys from Boer Legion are pulling back, but they're not leaving the area, so that's good.
But it's good that they're pulling back, because now you see what happens is, and this is what I mean, if we all knew that the police were going to do their job, then I think a lot less people would have pitched, which would have been great. But it's good that they are going back, and I think I don't think anybody should argue with the police right now, because the police is also telling people on the opposite side of the EFF to, disperse. You're not allowed to be more than 100, because what's going to happen is the EFF is going to use this and say, oh, but you allow 300-400 people there, but you're telling us, and then shit's going to hit the fan. So
which is
they should just listen.
Which is exactly what they were telling Boer Legion earlier in the morning. Early in the morning, they say, you can't assemble here because you have more than 100 people. And they said, well, we're not the ones that asked for a permit. And they said, well, you can't gather like this. And so the police were actually doing their job. Restraint on the part of the police, I would say, and certainly by those folks. It's just going to come up instantaneously, Ronaldo. So I'll just be quiet. Let's give us a minute to play. I can't hear it on my end, so I'll just have to be able to watch it. See, that's the footage that the world needs to see right there. And so we just aired it, and I'll show it again later in the day. Thank you for that, Ronaldo. Those people standing there with knob carries, no social distancing, no mask. And that was 4,000 people at least. Just a quick look at that. At least 4,000 people, maybe more. I know that the matrix score requirements are very low in South African school. Usually only 30% to pass your matrix. But I'm guessing that most of these people got about 12 or 13 on their maths, because they clearly can't count. That's a lot more than 100.
The really important question that you have to ask yourself, though, is this is a Friday, and they've been busy since, like, I'd say 7 o'clock this morning. Mm-hmm. That is about, let's call it 3,000, just to split the difference. 3,000 people that is not at work, which means that they either do not have a job, or that they are bussed in by the EFF and being fed 3 meals. And that is, it's quite concerning, because you saw this at Senekal, you saw this at Clicks, you saw this now today at Brackenfell. This is individuals that do not have jobs. And this is why the EFF is so popular, is because of the government's failure. And if you're going to be offered 3 meals a day, and you know that you don't have a job. And look, the reason I know it's 3 meals is because I know the political process. Nobody's going to go and go onto a bus and go and spend a day protesting if they know they're not going to get meals. And what happens is you get like a little breakfast when you get on the bus. Then when you at the speech, you get your water and you get your lunch. And then when you get home or when you get off the bus, you get another meal. So this is a way for the EFF to feed people. But also this is costing the EFF a lot of money. I think this is at least 100 to maybe 200,000 rand that the EFF is spending on this absolute shit show, because it's not going the way that they want to, which is great, which is fantastic, by the way.
Yeah, no, absolutely. It takes a lot of resources for this, and I think you've hit on a nail here. That the brew. If you send the Telegram, I can't pull it up right now because I don't have that on my PC. I do have WhatsApp on my PC, so you go ahead and send that link in Telegram group, and then one of the moderators there, who's in the Telegram group, can send it to me on WhatsApp, forward it. So do that, brew, and then I'll look for that. But the brew apparently has a video. Yeah, no, you've hit on something here that people overlook. This sort of political nonsense isn't cost free. There is a financial cost, but of course, who's backing and who's financing the EFF? That's a question that many of us have for a long time. There's a lot of supposition, but this is an expensive event for them to do this sort of thing. It's not free, and you're right. These are the legions of the unemployed, and in many cases, the unemployable. You behave like this, it's pretty hard to hold down a job of any reputable position around the country. So it's a real situation that really merits more attention. You know, actually, real journalists would be asking the questions about, what are you doing here? What do you normally do? How are you able to come here on a Friday? What enticed you to come here? Those are real questions, because people with jobs aren't rocking up. They're at work.
The real story, though, the real story today is that white kid that is supporting the EFF. So I sent you that video earlier, but that was the video where he took off his EFF jacket and his beret because the stun grenades and stuff was starting to fly. Did you get the video where he still had his EFF jacket on?
No, I didn't see that one. I played 2 videos about him, and it was about all I could stomach. The bile. I don't have a gallbladder anymore, but somehow I can still produce bile for stuff like that.
Play this one, because this one, I just sent it to you. He still has his EFF jacket on. So he's one of those revolutionaries that keep his jacket on when things are peaceful. And the moment when shit hits the fan, he takes off the jacket and the beret. And then he's like, nah, I'm not part of this anymore. I'm out, ladies and gentlemen. I'm out.
Well,
I'm a champagne socialist.
Champagne socialist? There you go. Well, did you see? I said that, you know, Bianca needs a boyfriend. We found one for her.
Well, I think he's too old for her, if I'm honest with you.
Ooh, that's just harsh.
Oh wait, sorry. Oh no, I don't recognize who you just spoke of. I'm sorry. Because now for the next week, I'm going to get there's going to be tweets about me for the next week.
You've been caught. My intention wasn't to trick you.
Been a member since I was 18 years old.
Now I'm going to get
Your grandfather from a leader?
Yes, my grandfather was Leon Markovitz. I believe the DA is a white supremacist party, and I'm trying to rectify the situation here today. We need to transfer the generational wealth and land to the disenfranchised people of this country.
So what do you think of the residents being on that corner?
I think they yearn for apartheid. I think they use neighborhood WhatsApp groups and PPA and private security to uphold apartheid in their neighborhoods. This exists in every single white neighborhood in this country. The only difference is that in Brackenfell it's more potent and violent.
What do you think? Do you think the EFF is justified to come here and to protest outside the
I think
school?
they need to be doing more. I think we need to be taking these protests to Clifton and Houghton Park, where the 20 million rand houses are. Okay, I think Brackenfell, there's not enough money here. These poor whites are angry and violent, and they're bored with their life. We need to take it. We need to take it where the rich people have money, and they're still making money off that land, which is all generational wealth passed down from their parents.
Talk to us about the response of the WCED to this situation.
It's a DA situation. The DA is still a white supremacist party. Okay, they're not interested in solving the problems, the wounds of apartheid. I have no faith in any DA government body to solve any situation.
And how do you feel personally when you see, as a white person, as a young white person, you know, we're supposed to be this rainbow nation, you know, your generation...
It's not a rainbow nation. Yeah. 94, we didn't fix the problem. Mandela sold us out. Yeah. We sold out Winnie. And today, and things like today, are part of the process of fixing that and healing these wounds.
How do you feel about the Cape Party being here?
I think the Cape Party is a white supremacist organization. You see the way they dress, the way they're armed. They yearn for the old days, and I feel sad for them. They hold so much anger in their hearts.
And Jack, the independence, Cape Party is calling for the independence of the Western Cape.
Yeah.
This is something that we've heard from the VF Plus leader as well. What are your thoughts?
It's these white people trying to hold on to their generational wealth, scared of losing their land. There's very valuable land in the Western Cape. We need to take this land and transfer it to the people of this country.
Wow. What a loser. What an absolute loser. That guy is, you notice I've got this nice Utah Warriors hoodie here, but I got this at 40% off because I'm frugal. But I'm telling you that lovely EFF, nice jacket that he has on, it isn't the cheap stuff. That's the good stuff, So talking about giving wealth away, why don't he just give the money he used to buy that jacket to the EFF and take care of those folks?
There's so much to unpack with regards to, obviously, look, this kid has been brainwashed like beyond belief, right? And he is what we can look forward to if the woke left wins, right? Mm-hmm. For instance, there's so many things to unpack. He calls the DA a white supremacist organization. He calls the Cape Party a white supremacist organization. Then he goes on to say these poor whites in Brackenfell, trying to belittle and insult them. And then what of generational wealth? It's all these buzzwords that now he's been fed, that he's trying to act all clever and shit with, which is the irony out of all of this is this guy went to an Ivy League school in South Africa, right? And magically after he matriculated, then he became aware of it. Why did he not, whilst he was struggling with his whiteness, why did he not go and attend a school in the township that he feels so strongly about? Why did the penny only drop after he matriculated? And apparently he's at UCT. So why is he doing all of these things and dictating and preaching to people while still taking his parents' wealth in order to further his education? Why doesn't he give it up? Why doesn't he give this shit up?
Yeah, well, it was interesting here to saying that, this is systemic, it's generational, and, it's racist. We didn't invite black kids. Oh, I'm sorry. So you didn't. So you're complicit. You're part of the racist problem. You didn't invite black kids when you were in school. Why didn't you bigot? I get a kick out of these idiots, and I see them on this side too. They utter nonsense. And of course, when Bianca van Wyk, you don't have to respond. When Bianca van Wyk appeared on your channel, I eviscerated her in less than 3 seconds with her stupidity. I remember her comment was that, well, it's racism because when I go to Pick and Pay, there are no hair products for black women.
Chris, you don't understand racism. Chris.
Much better.
Chris, you don't understand racism.
No, I don't.
Right?
I don't.
You don't understand it.
I don't. I'll confess. I don't understand it.
Chris, you don't understand it.
Oh, gosh. Yes. That day, I had to vomit. I had to leave. I really did have to vomit that day listening to that nonsense.
Somebody is saying I need a PK. Okay, thank you.
Walther PK? Is that what they're talking about?
No, it was Alison Amber, a PK. Do you know what a PK is?
I assumed it was a PK Walther, like a pistol.
No, a PK is okay, so the Dutch word for cat is poes.
Yeah.
So it is a poes slap. It's the hardest slap known to man. That is what it is.
No, this side of the Atlantic, we typically say bitch slap.
No, trust me, a PK is harder than that. So a bitch slap is a PK is that is when you wake up the next morning and you wonder what happened. So that is, yeah.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah, no, it's just this is just the people, they just absolutely have their brains screwed on. Strangely, it's interesting. I find, I always find people, of course, we're old people make assumptions based on how people appear and their appearance. One, the grief that a flack I'm getting. What did somebody say? What are you laughing at?
Sorry, Andre said the comment of the day. He said a PK changes a person. It does. Once you've received the PK, you look inwards. It's like being shot at. It's a similar experience. You reevaluate your life after a PK. So yeah. Anyway, sorry.
No, it's all right. Andre also had another great quote here too. What was it about? Racism is a God-given emotion. That's a good one. And then Boom Shakalaka just said that the that the flashbangs are going off again right now. So they obviously must have
Here we
tried
go.
to breach.
Here we go.
Yeah, they must have tried to breach
Round
what's
two.
going on.
Listen,
Crazy
the
stuff.
important thing here, right,
Yeah.
is that the EFF is now going to turn their anger towards the SAPS, which is like the best thing that could have happened, right?
Oh, yeah.
Because the SAPS is not going to take any shit, and they are mandated by law to take action. So the EFF were always picking fights with these little organizations that can't really fight back. If the EFF is going to take on the SAPS, then I think it's going to end really, really badly for the EFF.
Well, I agree, and especially today because clearly SAPS is ready and prepared. I suspect that there are a few hundred more SAPs who are out of sight and ready to respond, not just the ones we've seen on the scene. Given how prepared they are, that would be my expectation. If I were the EFF, I would not be charging back into this. This may go very badly for them.
And we have to give credit, like the real winners today is the SAPS. The SAPS, I believe, has done a lot to restore the faith because they haven't been anywhere in Senekal. They weren't really anywhere during the Click saga. So if today is any indication of what the intent is, I think the real winners today is not the people of Brackenfell. It's not the EFF. It is in actual fact the SAPS that has restored a little bit of faith in what they are capable of. And that video that you played earlier that shows shit just hitting the fan, that is what has restored my faith in the SAPS, at least for now.
Yeah, and what I have to say about this too is that it's needed in the Western Cape because people have lost faith in SAPS, particularly after their behavior in the biker rally. That really irritated a lot of people. And then the way they treated the protesters who were lawful protesters for the tourism industry when they water cannon people in their shops who were not even involved in the protest and were adhering to the law, and they were very abusive towards people. That really, really damaged relations. Not that they were at a peak, but it really damaged relations in the Western Cape with SAPS. This may help in some way. We'll see. But I mean, Ronaldo, we have to give credit, as we're doing. When people do something right, they deserve credit for it, no matter who they are. So there you go. Good job on their part so far. But the EFF is looking for a fight. They're itching for a fight. They want a race war. That's what they want. And elements in the African National Congress are all too happy to let them do it for a variety of reasons, not the least of which is that this is the secret desire of the hidden racists in the ANC who try to hide their racism, but the party has its fair share of racists that have always wanted to kill all the white South Africans and drive them into the sea. That's not the party as a whole, but there's far too many people like that in the ANC. And then also it serves the desire to cover up and obfuscate, pay no attention to that man behind the curtain. That's what's going on right now.
But there's also two very important things here that I think is critical. The first thing is this whole narrative of the EFF fighting racism is now falling flat, right? Because if you look at the SAPS that are there, you'll find the majority of the SAPS members are black individuals, right? So that takes the race card away from them in order to create this narrative that the EFF was stopped by white monopoly capital or all of that shit. So that is ending that discussion. And then secondly, it also creates this narrative now that what they are doing is in actual fact wrong, because how do they spin this? If this was now, let's say the police didn't do their job and they went to Brackenfell and they met resistance there and people started throwing stones at each other and started murdering each other, then it would be a black versus white issue, right? Or a have versus have nots issue. But now with the SAPS, like what is their play? What is their game? They're not getting the media attention. The only media attention they are getting is the fact that they are breaking the law and that the SAPS are doing their job, which is nullifying their cause. And then the second thing is they can't blame this on racism because the individuals that are enforcing this is the SAPS, which responds to the government, and the government is the ANC. So now this creates a very interesting dynamic, because we know that the EFF and the ANC were cozying up to one another because the government isn't really speaking out against what the EFF is doing. But the SAPS is, and the SAPS is an extension of the government, which is brilliant.
Please step away.
Yeah, no, absolutely. It's a great point you're making there. I think that the deal with the EFF is that, like a number of people just mentioned here, they've been and you've been mentioning this for a long time, Ronaldo. You deserve credit for this. They've been irrelevant this year. They've done nothing as a political party in this lockdown, and they're simply looking for attention in many respects. That's definitely the case here. I got a video from morning that came in. It looks like the police talking to folks. So let me pull this one up, okay? And before I do that, there was a couple comments here. I did want to get to one. So Mark de Villiers, so the EFF have been relevant for most of the year, so now they're on a campaign for attention. I'm going to guess that this is not Mark de Villiers who wrote the book White Tribe Dreaming, which I read as a young man, because if so, you're probably really, really old. So it must be a different Mark de Villiers. From, of course, one of the oldest families from the French Huguenots who arrived in Western Cape. But let me pull up this video here. This one came in from morning in the past couple minutes, and we'll see what this is. The police talking to someone here. So give me a second to get this set up, and I will get it rolling here. Hopefully it's going to be one of these ones comes up crooked, I bet. So let me see. Here it is. Yeah, I got to fix it. Give me a second. It's playing.
So, at this moment in time, as I'm standing here now, no other permit for anybody has been granted to have a gathering in Brackenfell. So I'm going to request you to take down your tent, inform all your participants, all your people, that you need to disperse from it. We will not allow you to be here because you do not have a permit. If you wanted to have this gathering, you could have approached the city of Cape Town, and I'm sure they would have
what is the delay
also
like?
granted you a permit to be here today. But at this moment in time, we are not going to allow you here, so I'm going to give you a chance.
Okay, let me
Address
play.
your supporters and your people, then you pack up your things. We want you to disperse from here.
We're going to get a permit from the city of Cape Town, but the EFF only announced that they were coming here on Monday. Tuesday, we got an invitation, and we were then advised that there would not be enough time for the city of Cape Town to grant us that permit. My understanding, the EFF is here putting on a public display, and we are here with the community. Many of us live in the community, all our houses are just up the road. We're just here to peacefully observe their protest.
So we cannot allow it. Not in the form or shape that you are. This constitutes a gathering. No gatherings will be allowed other than the one that this permit has been issued for. So I'm giving you time now. What is the time? 9:34. By 10:00 hours, 10 o'clock, I'm giving you ample time. All of these things must be done, and all of these people must have been dispersed.
No, sorry. It's not a donor, bro. So in other words, you're giving them the right. Yeah, what's done?
I want you presently at your residence. Because anything that you are thinking or contemplating, the police are here to handle everything today. So it is my express wish that you return to your residence. I promise you, no sir, I'm addressing this gentleman here. Don't come from the side and just shout at me. This is what we require from you. We are here for your safety as well. We can absolutely guarantee your safety as residents of Brackenfell. We would request you to go to your homes. Leave all of this and gathering on street corners and things. SAPS is here today. We will manage everything. We can give you those guarantees. As the South African Police Service, we are here to maintain law and order in Brackenfell, irrespective of who you are. But we are just here to police one event, one gathering with one permit. That is
For 100 people. And there's already more than 100
else that we have here now, we are not going to allow. So I'm giving you until 10 o'clock, 10 hours. I want all of these things removed.
Well, I will say this about this apps. Very calm there. They were wearing masks improperly, but they were wearing masks. Folks, you're listening to Chris White Africa on the Daba Africa channel on this Friday morning, the 20th of November, Friday afternoon in South Africa and Botswana now. And this has so far been live coverage with updates of events unfolding in Brackenfell High School in the Western Cape, where the economic freedom fighters have once again broken the law, violating a court order to have no more than 100 protesters show up at the high school compound. Hundreds, if not thousands now. We've seen thousands of EFF supporters, many armed with knob carries and some with pungas. Menacing people. They initially surged toward the school, and the South African Police Service forced them back with water cannons, flashbang grenades, and reportedly rubber bullets as well. But I didn't see any rubber bullets, so no evidence of that I can see. But we can confirm the water cannons and flashbang grenades. They ran like sad little puppies running away from the scene as if they'd been hit, whelping away. And now they are trying to come back and toying, and apparently the police have agreed to allow like 500 of them to come up and deliver a petition. But we're hearing reports that they are being dispersed again. I have yet to see any footage of that. But with me here in the chat now is Ronaldo Jos from Port Elizabeth, Nelson Mandela Bay, a DA ward counselor who is also a somewhat famous YouTube personality. And so Ronaldo's joined me in the chat this morning. All right, Ronaldo, we're back.
Yeah. So while you were doing that, I just did a quick search on that kid. What's his name? Karl Markovitz or whatever, like Jack Markovich or whatever his name is. There's some interesting research. Let me just run you through it. So the Ambassador Hotel has been a Cape Town landmark since Leon and Antula Markovitz, at one time the city's mayoral couple, invited the world into their rocktop property in Cape Town's Bantry Bay. It couldn't have been more chic. Antula was involved in fashion, and together the couple, tall, slender, and very glam, ruled Atlantic seaboard society. So over the years, their son Neil, which is now this kid's father, under the Newmark Hotel brand, took over the hospitality business, which had expanded to own and operate hotels like the Victoria and Alfred Hotel, the Dock House, the Queen Victoria, and more recently, La Splendida. Newmark Hotels is no longer involved in the Ambassador Hotel. So this is like institutional wealth that his parents have. I mean, they are obviously multi-millionaires, if not billionaires. So this kid that people just heard talking about, what should happen and wealth that should be transferred, his parents are multi-millionaires, if not billionaires, which is quite amazing.
Yeah, that is quite the interesting situation here. What's this? I've got some more videos here. People are sending in here. I'm just... Whoa. Oh, this is a good one. This is the dispersal here. Hang on a second. It's a short one, but let me bring this one up. Yeah, no, somebody put in the WhatsApp group. I have the picture of Markowitz said good excuse for birth control or something like that. Yikes. Let me get this thing to come up here. That's not what I wanted. Hang on a second. All right, so I'm going to add this video. This one's a short one, about 20 seconds, folks, and this is dispersing the crowd here. Okay, let me pull it up. Well, you guys love your vaping in South Africa. I'll give you that. Here we go.
Yeah.
Here we go.
These are live pictures that we're bringing to you with the police clashing with EFF members. Of course, they're trying to disperse their march to the school.
EFF members vow to fight on after police dispersed their gathering. That's what that was from television. Yikes. Unbelievable. These clowns are something else. This is another one here. What's this one here? Okay, let me get this. Is from, I think, earlier. Yep. Oh, boy. Interesting. Folks, if you're not a subscriber to Chris White Africa, hey, take a second to become a subscriber right down there by smashing that subscription button right at the bottom of the screen there. By the way, special introductory price today. Since Ronaldo's on with me, I decided not to charge for subscriptions, so they're absolutely free today. No charge for subscriptions. No charge
Bonus.
Whatsoever. Yeah, that's right.
Nice.
Of course, they're always free, but we won't tell anybody that. Here
We
go.
are doing a live stream this Sunday, though, that you can promote.
That's true. I'll do that in a second. The video's up now. Wow, police responding there, chasing EFF ways. Stephen Easterbrook just subscribed. There you go. See, someone took the lead. Thank you for subscribing there, Stephen. Appreciate it. LOL, what a circus, says Athena Rosa. Yeah, it is a bit of a circus, but you got to say at the moment it looks like the South African Police Service have a plan. They have a tactical plan in place. They're responding. What Ronaldo was alluding to just a moment ago is that I called into Ronaldo's program back in, I want to say it was March, it must have been. I think it was March. And I called in, and Ronaldo was taking phone calls for about 2 minutes or 3 minutes, and then I called in about 20 minutes for the program. Next thing I know, Ronaldo and I are talking till the top of the hour, and he's like, and people are like, hey, who is this oak? You got to get him back on. And Ronaldo committed right there on the spot, not even really knowing me, and said, hey, I'll have the colonel on once a month. We'll do a program, and we'll have him on. And true enough, he's held up to that. And Leonard Kokomo is just subscribed. Thank you for that. And we've had it's been on average once a month, and it's on his Sunday service program, which we didn't get to rename. I wanted to call it With the Colonel, but we didn't do that. Anyway, but
he's still on that.
I am. No, but and so now I get booted for more important people like, I don't know, like Helen Zilla and John Steenhuisen and Franz Kronia, people like that. But it doesn't hurt my feelings. But Ronaldo does host me once a month. And in fact, this Sunday, the 22nd of November, I'll be on his program Sunday evening after he gets his Macintosh back from the shop. And we'll be talking about events here at Brackenfell, the U.S. election, and other things that come on topic and questions people ask in the chat. So you're welcome to tune in. Garth McCarthy just subscribed. Thank you, Garth. I appreciate that. Garth and I have been chatting back and forth with his comments here, so thank you for subscribing. But yeah, so Ronaldo and I will be talking this Sunday. Ronaldo, that's kind of the topics I think we have on tap. Any other ones that we should talk about Sunday?
Oh, we always just wing it. So whatever people bring up, and I mean, it's always entertaining. So it's never boring. So I'm sure we'll be speaking about Jock Machovic or whatever his name is. We'll be speaking about Brackenfell. Whatever is relevant, we'll talk about, and we'll take questions from the floor as well, which is always interesting. So it'll be epic, like it always is.
Yeah, no, it's usually a lot
and
of
I
fun.
mean, just for the record, like, I mean, myself and Chris, we always take swipes at one another. So I know that like some people earlier like said, Ronaldo, you like so rude. I mean, nah, like when Chris was doing that streaming issue, or he had those streaming issues, and I gave advice and he said, oh, blah, blah, blah. I said, well, fuck you too. And then people were like, oh, Ronaldo, why? And I'm like, no, it's just a joke. I mean, I've got no respect for Chris's age because according to him, he's not old. So it's not like I need to respect him because of his age. I mean, he looks really old, but I mean, he's not apparently that old. So
no, as I tell people, you know, I won't, if you don't hold age against me, I won't hold youth and inexperience against you.
Okay.
The single greatest politician of the 20th century, no doubt there. I'm quoting him.
And he was an actor.
He was. And that's probably why he's such a great communicator. He was a brilliant man. It's unfortunate that he didn't become president until he was much, I mean, it's the right time for him to be president, but by the time of his second term, he was not in the best of health, and that was unfortunate. But his first term was absolutely brilliant, and the first half of his second term was pretty good too. But he was a brilliant man and drove the Soviet Union into bankruptcy. Well done, Ronald Reagan. You are missed. You are missed.
Listen, just back quickly. I see there's a comment that says Mark isn't even friends with his son on Facebook. We're talking about that kid now. I wonder if he's doing this to piss off his dad because his dad has cut him out of the will. I mean, surely this is one of those. So if I can't have it, then nobody can, or at least the people of the son of the soil should have it.
Lawrence 007 said, Chris, nice Paul Kruger beard. I think it's more of a Pete Retief look.
More like a Father Christmas look.
Yeah, no, people, I've actually, my streams, because of the rants, you know, people like me to do the rants, and I do the rant, and people yesterday were like, oh my gosh, my children are coming and said, why is Santa so mad?
That's classic.
That is classic. I love that one. Erica's been trying to get me to do a Santa Claus program. Wants me to dress up as Father Christmas, St. Nicholas, and entertain the kids. I'm willing to do that.
Well, why don't you do a fundraiser for that? Do a fundraiser.
Well, that would be good. I can do that for U.S. charities, but there's no way to do it for South Africa unless I raise the money myself and send it. That I could try that though, but yeah, it's
there's this amazing thing called PayPal. I'm not sure if you've heard about it. Most South African charities take it.
No, I've never heard of PayPal.
PayPal. It was invented by a South African, by the way.
Is that Elon Muskrat or what's his name?
Yeah, I think Elon Muskie, like Musk.
Okay. I thought it was Muskrat. My bad. Sorry about that. I missed that.
Yeah. I hate it though when people claim like I just fell victim to what I dislike most is when people try and claim South Africanisms. Elon Musk, I think he was born in South Africa and he spent like a very small amount of time in South Africa, but I don't think he classifies himself as a South African. The same with Roger Federer. Roger Federer's mom is a South African, I believe. And now everybody's like, oh, Roger Federer, South African. No, that's bullshit.
That's funny. Yeah, and I don't know anything about PayPal. I don't know. Can you see the screen there, Ronaldo?
If I can, what, the screen?
Yeah, no, of the stream. Can you see the screen? I don't know anything about PayPal.
Yeah. Nice. Well, there we go.
Yeah,
I see it now.
So that's because a few of my viewers kept asking me if I could put PayPal up, and I figured a la Roman Kabanek of Morning Shot fame, I would do that. Speaking of which, he just asked to come into the stream. Roman, check your WhatsApp, and we'll let you come in the stream, provided you're not lying and you are in fact wearing a shirt. Do you know he came on naked onto my program earlier today? Called in naked, scared all my female viewers away.
I'm sure he did. Like there was a sudden jump in your subscriber numbers.
No, it went the other direction. I declined. It was like one of those YouTube scrubbing me days. Here he comes. All right,
Ugh.
avert your eyes, ladies. Avert your eyes.
Well, there you go.
There he is. Oh, he does have a shirt on. Dude, can't you
I have
afford
two, in fact.
Can you not afford a real shirt? That thing looks sad.
I've went to boxing earlier and I haven't changed yet.
I went to exercise. I jogged 40 kilometers today. Yes. What have you done?
No, I got punched in the face a few times. Not by women.
Yes.
This time, by
Can you
real
not
burly-
record it next time? Record it when you get punched in the face. So many people will love it.
By the way, Conscious Carico
Yes,
is telling
yes.
us that Goober's grandfather was the mayor of Cape Town in the 1980s.
That's
What?
correct. Leon Markovitz. That's why I
This
wanted
is
to
just
come on the
getting
show.
better and better. Thank you, EFF. Thank you, EFF, for creating the story, because this is going to be the story. I love it. I absolutely love it. Well
And,
done.
Apparently his father, I'm not too sure if it's Neil Markovitz who is the father, but the father owns some of the best hotels in Cape Town.
Hotels,
a full suite of them, in fact.
Yeah.
But what really annoys me, like, okay, Jack is young and impressionable, whatever, right? But the fact that you can have someone who says, I went to a private school and is very racist, who has a place at UCT, he comes to Brackenfell and says, these poor white people here are white supremacists and racist. That is risible to me, to have this elitist come in to a working class neighborhood, okay, middle class neighborhood, he's probably never been to in his entire life, to come in and then just declare off the cuff, these are all white supremacists and we need to expropriate everything they have because they are racist. Is no one else seeing this for what it is? It is absolutely disgusting.
Of course it is.
And the
it's-
EFF is embracing him. That's the best part. Because
Yeah, that
the
is the best
EFF
part.
they're embracing this white monopoly capitalist just because he's saying what they want to hear, which is like the height of irony.
So it's the same thing on this side of the ocean, folks. I mean, I was in Athens, Ohio, which after I visited my mother in hospital earlier this week, I came back. I went to my alma mater, Ohio University, and there's been a tradition of the leftists who like to sit out in front of the courthouse every Monday, I think it is, of once a month or something like that, or every Monday. And they sit out there with signs. It started in Vietnam, protesting Vietnam, and they're always protesting something. A bunch of malcontents who obviously don't work that day of the month, and they sit there. Well, I walk by, they're all old white people, and what are they protesting? What do they have signs up? Black Lives Matter. Okay, yeah. When's the last time you saw something black? When you watch Wesley Snipes in a movie? Come on, you don't know what you're talking about. And
Blade.
Yeah, Blade.
Blade.
Hey, Blade was pretty good. That's a good series, man.
That's a good set. Wesley Snipes is criminally underrated. He just said he went to prison
Yes.
for not paying tax.
He was a criminal.
And he says,
Tax
no,
evasion.
for not paying tax. But not tax evasion. He said, no, but tax is illegal. There's no taxation in the Constitution of America, so I'm just not paying it.
Yeah.
Actually, he's wrong. I agree with the sentiment, but he's wrong because unfortunately we have a constitutional amendment which allows for taxation, income tax, unfortunately.
So listen, I have to ask a question. Do you think mainstream media, I mean, obviously they're giving this kid a lot of attention, but like, I think that he has now become the face of the woke left. And I think, here's my theory. I think everybody is now literally like hailing him as the new Greta for South Africa. But I think now that he's put himself in the spotlight and all of these things are starting to come out, he's eventually going to turn into like this insane meme. I think that's what's going to happen.
It could be, but let me just make sure I'm getting the right reference here. You're killing us. You're destroying our world. Did I get the right reference?
Yeah, that was quite accurate.
Okay, thank you. Just check.
Quite bad.
And Mr. Dolph the Wolf said the EFF have infiltrated white monopoly capital. News alert, folks. Good point there, Dolph.
Tian says, clearly Carl Newhouse just got his protege. Come with me, dear son. Let me tell you about the armed struggle.
Yeah, the arm struggle. Only arm struggle was what's his name? Kenneth Mapetswe, the guy with one arm. He lost it like in a industrial accident and said no, it was actually war. The head of the NKVA. What's his name?
You're putting me on the spot now. I don't know.
Yes, and there was nude photos of him that came out.
Interesting here, by the way. Elizabeth says it's not verified, but it says the reason why he's getting attention is because Michael Markovitz, his uncle or something, is on the board of the SABC. The
fix
shit
is
is starting to come out.
The fix is in. Ernst von Seil, check your email account, Conscious Carico, your WhatsApp. Check your WhatsApp.
And so all of these things are the hotels, by the way, is Queen Victoria Hotel, the Manor House, Dock House, Boutique Hotel, Victoria and Alfred Hotel, the La Splendida, Dross Day Hotel, the Rockefeller, the Catalyst, La Maison d'Ete, the Onyx Hotel, the Penthouse Collection, and Stock Exchange Hotel.
Yeah, I stayed at the Victoria and Alfred. I was trying on white privilege, and it didn't suit me, so I took it back off.
I mean, have you noticed how decolonized all those names are?
Oh, yeah, exactly.
Victorian, Alfred, Stock Exchange,
lots of indigenous
Rockefeller.
Yeah.
Great South African heroes, them all. I'm glad that they've decolonized completely. It's actually unbelievable. Don't these people have like self-reflection? Because if I was on TV and I said this stuff, I would be absolutely mortified with myself because they obviously don't believe what they say. And they're like probably got chauffeured there in a Jag to talk shit about poor white people. And besides, poor white people don't live in Brackenfell. It's a very mixed community of working class and middle class people. It's unbelievable. It's like a celebrity from Hollywood going to downtown Detroit and disparaging everyone in sight for being racist. It's unbelievable. Like, no self-reflection.
It seems I can confirm that it is true. Michael Markovitz, his CV says his current or dated CV that says he was working for Element 36, Flat Rock Mobility Solutions, and then the V&A Hotel Group. So there's that link between Jack's father and obviously Michael because of the V&A Hotel Group. So yeah, it seems that this is all falling nicely into place now.
Erica said that Ronaldo's French is bad. You should hear his English.
Shots fired. Shots fired.
Ronaldo, la maison.
We have a piper down. We have a piper down.
Say what you want. Say what you want.
It's so simple. It's la maison.
But I believe that my Sir Attenborough accent is on par with regards to what is happening here today.
Ronaldo,
you're almost as bad as
that's a
Chris
cheap,
when he says matric.
No, that's it is
at least I have matric
instead of matric. It's no, Ronaldo. That's just a cheap ripoff of your Simon. What's his name from Sightlanders accent?
Simon Roach.
Oh no, that is that. Sorry, guys, that is a better one. Anyway. So is there no action? Is nothing happening? Is the EFF now completely? Did it take like 2 water cannons, one that's got DA blue in it, and then like a bunch of flashbangs to like get rid of them? Was that all it took?
I'm just going to say this is a very powerful and deep election strategy from the DA. Well done. I don't know who signed off on this message.
We said we're going to paint the town blue, and we did.
So if the saps use purple,
not a metaphor.
If the saps use purple, would that be a ZACP?
But you know how much they want. Do you know how much they want to fill up that thing with purple dye? It's like 200,000 rand. We don't need that money.
That's a lot of money.
DA does.
You know, the thing is, they won't be able to wash it off because they're going to be blue come election day as well. We're keeping them blue.
It's just once again the coalition between the DA and the EFF is coming together again.
Shut up.
Very nice. It's important for to have unity in this country. Hell, it looks like I was sprayed by that bloody thing. Look at my clothes.
Exactly.
It's all blue.
Well done. Thank you for wearing your DA shirt, and we appreciate it.
Well, you know,
the praise all mine.
It's nearly 6 a.m. for me, but Roman, you look like you just got up, man. It looks like it's morning time there.
I have been up since 4:30 this morning.
Yeah, sure. Excuse me just for a second. Excuse me for a second.
Okay.
Excuse me for a second. Look at that. There, my watch shows I did something today.
Oh,
720 calories. Thank you very much.
Awesome.
And I can prove, if you want to see my activity monitor on my phone, you can see from 6 to 7, I was out. So I have proof. So don't wait. Where's the time on this thing? There we go. Today, 6:07 to 7 p.m.
I believe you. Alvaro Reeves says they
There we
use
go.
red cannons on the peaceful tourism and restaurant protests in Cape Town. I saw the water cannons. I didn't see red, unless you're telling a joke there. I just saw regular water cannons that day, which were quite disgraceful. Ernst Fonsile, the conscious Caracal, is joining us if he can get his connection to work there. Oh, Ronaldo's back. Yeah, so it looks like things are calm at the moment, folks, but we shall see.
Well, as far as I understand, that the police are letting 500 EFF protesters go to the front of the school. They agreed on 100 first, and now it's 500. So that is still going on. I'm not too sure why you negotiate with terrorists, but I'm not part of SAPS.
That's apparently false information. With that being said, Elizabeth is doing like a deep search here. Like she's going deep. And Elizabeth says, how funny that Gail Markovits is an editor at World Economic Forum. So this is just like...
We're going to know everything about the Markovits family in the next hour.
We're going to know everything. So this kid comes to Brackenfell and literally stands on a podium and talks about like wealth, whilst his family is like entrenched in every single branch of the best amounts of money that you could potentially get. Oh my God, it's hilarious.
And today's shul. I don't want to be him at that dinner tonight.
Well,
Jack,
we've got a theory.
Well,
we've got a theory that his dad wrote him out of the will, and this is his way of getting back at his dad by giving it away.
Maybe. Watch
Aaron's
all
joined
social
in,
media. Just delete. All social media will just be gone.
I think Ernst is relying on Cell C or Telecom here. He can't seem to get in. He keeps trying to pop in there.
Well, he lives in Pretoria. You can't blame him.
Yeah, that's true.
And
I wish all of us could live in Sandton.
Oh, that is horrible, man. You sound like you're in a submarine, Ernst. Oh, there he is.
All right, can you see and hear me, Chris?
Oh, jeez, another white guy. What the hell?
Hey, I'm half Arab. Excuse me.
I wasn't counting you. You guys know that when you had the three Amebros, that you guys are they're always talking about three white guys. I'm like, that's only a partially true story. The only white guy in that mix is Ronaldo. I mean, you got a Pakistani and a Moroccan. They're not white.
I know. I'm like a real Afrikaner, but now we've got a real Afrikaner in the chat.
Well, it looks like
pure one.
Well, it looks like his video is frozen. Are you there, Ernst?
Aaron's blink once if you are there.
Aaron's is like Julius Malema at the actual march.
Aaron's, if you think that the EFF is an amazing organization, say nothing.
Yes, he's frozen, Eric.
Thank you, Aaron's. Thank you, Aaron's.
We're having a go at him. That's poor Aaron's. And he drops off. He'll be back. Wow, that's.
He was like, "Oh shit, I can't approve this."
Yeah, no, Ernst. I would say that if you're in a normal place, walk outside for better signal. But you are in South Africa, so that might be hazardous. So be careful there. Yes. Anyway, he's just focusing. He says, "Citizen Guardian."
So, what are the long-term consequences of this protest for everyone here? Does this aid or does this negate whatever the EFF tries to do in the future?
Well, my opinion is that this has caused them more harm because now their fight is going to turn against the SAPS. And if you look at the SAPS that was there today, it's mostly black police officers. But further than that, this is now a governmental aspect. So their fight will now go towards the ANC. So it moves away from being a racist white monopoly capital thing to fighting the government, which is going to be interesting because now they are going to directly lash out at the government. And the government has been very quiet with regards to Senekal, Brackenfell clicks. But now if the EFF is consistently going to attack the ANC you can expect some resistance coming from the ANC at least. So this I think maybe today was a real blessing. Thank you, Julius Malema. Thank you very much for this.
Yeah, I would say, Roman, that the EFF didn't get what they wanted, and that's a victory. It's an operational and perhaps even a strategic victory, depending how the press plays it out. We know they won't be honest, but if enough people see what actually happened here or actually pay attention to events, then it may be a strategic victory as well. But it's definitely not a victory in any sort for the EFF. Not only did they look like cowards, they didn't achieve what they wanted. What they wanted was to get white people engaged in a street fight. That's what they wanted. And they'll go to any lengths to do that so they can perpetuate their false narrative that it's a racist society. Of course, they're encouraged in that by the president himself, who tells people that's why we have gender-based violence, because white people are inherently racist. Still trying to figure that one out. Okay, Aaron's just trying to come back. I think maybe he's got another phone.
What is interesting to me is that the whole thing has pivoted to SAPS versus the EFF, i.e. the state versus aggressors, for lack of a better word. During the course of this particular protest today, I have not heard once about a supposed racist party. I mean, the narrative has shifted completely to EFF are getting, watered with paint, and there's a few flashbangs, but there's nothing to say why they're here, or are they, or should we protect them because they're fighting racism? Like, nothing like that has come out on social media at all, which I find a bit strange.
Well, and if that continues, then that, in fact, is a victory in of itself. And I have to say that there's a victory for restraint here. And I don't know all the facts. I do know what I've been in contact with Mornay from Beaulieu. But I have to say that it appears that they've had great restraint and they've been well-behaved and had a serious plan. So if, in fact, that's the case, I won't want to speak for them, but if that's the case, that's a victory in of itself, too, that behavior. And also keeping there were still some parents who were very fired up and some others who descended on the scene who were very fired up. Keeping them kind of away from the fray is a victory in of itself because it denied the EFF what they're looking for. But this isn't over yet. Until we know they've all dispersed, it isn't over. But I would say that's a major victory for all South Africans to stop this false narrative of race war. Ernst is back. Welcome. I'm glad you took your foot off your data cable. See how it works better?
No, I was just being censored, so I struck a deal with the ANC so they'll allow me to speak now.
Well,
Nice.
I tell you, the problem with the ANC is that's a lot more expensive. You're going to have to give them real cash, whereas with the EFF, you just give them a couple streetwise meals and you're good to go.
I see there's a question there in the chat. Aaron, I hear you approve of the EFF. Can you please explain? Yes, I approve of the economic fleeing fighters, yes.
Kate Cross, I don't know if Kate's being cute or whatever. She says, no black people on this live stream. No, apparently not. Apparently not. Big Daddy Liberty, I haven't heard from him. Somebody asked me if I heard from him. He's welcome to join the stream. Let me send him a note. I don't know what he's up to. Maybe he can join us.
But something I wanted to add earlier when you were talking about that meme, that walking meme there at the protest, that white EFF supporter. Seeing from what his background is and coming from wealth, I mean, this is exactly why you get people that say, no, but white privilege is definitely real. I know it. I've experienced it. Because they come from that background and they think all white people have exactly the same type of upbringing. We all have fathers that were the mayor of Cape Town. We all have fathers that own multiple hotels. That's just the reality of white people, it seems.
Don't you guys? My dad owns a couple of hotels.
My dad owns Sun
in
City.
Dispatch. Sorry, Adams.
Yeah, no, that was my point.
Well, in the
I
interest of
think
full
he's going to
disclosure-
be the story, though.
In the interest of full disclosure, I gave Ronaldo a hard time about that similar topic. Not as egregious, but making the point that people make assumptions about people. Like, for me, being in Africa was not a big difference a lot of places because I go places and I had this conversation with these Ugandans in a rural village where I didn't even speak their language. I was using a Ugandan soldier to translate. So I got to watch their faces while I stood there in uniform and I spoke to them in English. And some of them understood some of it. And then when he translated in a local language, I could really see it. And so I said to them, I said, you probably think that those of us up here in uniform don't have much in common with you. And they're kind of, yeah. I said, but you might be surprised that we have a lot more in common than you realize. And for instance, I suspect some of you don't have electricity in your homes. And they don't shake their heads like that. And I said, I grew up for a time in my youth without electricity. And they're like, huh? What? And I said, yeah, no, you probably fetch water from a creek or a water source somewhere. Like, yeah, I said, I did the same thing as a youth. I had to fetch water from a cistern to bathe and to cook and to eat with. Like, what? Anyway, so the point is that just because someone looks a certain way, it's a very bad assumption to assume that they grew up in privilege, unless they happen to be the children of Tokyo Sex Wally. Then we know they did grow up in privilege, but there are exceptions.
I think this is wonderful.
Sex
whale. Chris has basically been doing Donald Trump's anti-immigration plan for decades now. America's not that great, guys. We also go to the creek to get water. Don't come here.
Also, something that I found interesting about the protest here today was the superior logic that we saw on display. So one of the EFF leaders was there, and he said, "This is a protest, not therefore it cannot be regulated like a gathering."
That's brilliant.
Well, you got to give him credit. Got to give him credit for trying.
No, but they also do that with their traditional weapons, right? It's in the name, weapon, which is not allowed. If you go on a public protest, you're not allowed to have any weapons with you. And people say, no, it's not a weapon, it's a traditional weapon. It says, well, my 9mm is not, is that a traditional weapon? Can I take that on with the shotgun? My AR-15, that's very traditional in my culture. Of course not. But they keep saying they're not weapons, they're traditional weapons. This is how we express ourselves.
It reminds me of back in the day when under Gaddafi, Libya was importing parts for a ballistic weapons program. And then when the United States and other nations asked them, what are you guys doing with all these rocket parts? They said, no, we're just building a space program. Don't worry about it.
Well, my ancestors fought in the American Revolution, so we've got a few muskets around. Can I carry that as a traditional weapon? I at least get one shot and I'll have to reload.
Listen, there's breaking news right now, and it's not to do with Brackenfell. It's with regards to the ANC arriving at the SABC, and they uniting with unions with regards to the SABC retrenchments. And there is literally about 2,000 to 3,000 of them gathering, and not a single person is wearing a mask.
Well,
it's just it's crazy.
It's I don't know what to say. Guys, that here in Pennsylvania, our governor has decreed that we must wear masks in our home and in our automobiles.
Well, it's better than California. You have to wear your mask between bites at a restaurant. They actually said that. between bites.
He did. Newsom said that.
Yeah, man.
You guys think we can get away with it if we use that EFF logic about protests and we just say going to the restaurant is a protest against hunger?
Nail it. But listen, back to that kid though. Like, I'm not very keen on like the whole white privilege thing. But wouldn't he be a poster child for white privilege though?
Oh, indeed.
Of course.
Indeed.
So the guy that's an actual poster child for white privilege wants to tell everybody about their white privilege.
And like I said, these types of people are under the misconception that everyone grew up like them.
Well, exactly. I mean, because he got a private education, like Ivy League education in the South African context, and now he's at UCT. But I would love to know what he's studying at UCT. Can somebody try and find out what he's studying?
I have a feeling he's studying to be a lawyer, because he knows the EFF only hires white lawyers. So I think this is practically his CV. It's like his interview for the job.
I think it's probably intersectional, like gentrification studies or something like that.
Or maybe he's just in their social engineering department.
Yeah, look at the caracal here with those linguistic kill shots there.
Oh, he's got him. Listen, guys, you don't know what you're dealing with here. This is a well-educated young man, and that's not a dig. That's a statement. Did you read his recent op-ed? It was absolutely brilliant. You'd never know that he's some poor farming oak that can't speak English.
Are you talking about Jack or Ernst? Sorry, I'm confused.
Both.
Ghana, thank you very much, Chris. I see you're skimping to come on my channel again.
What? No, I'm not. I want to come on your channel when I get to be in that really cool studio when I come to South Africa. That's awesome, man. I mean, look, you've got like the best studio, and it must be some of that white privilege or white monopoly capital that made it happen.
No, definitely, man.
No, but you definitely.
I've been in that studio. It's very nice.
I think you might be considered when you're not wanted, citizen.
Unwanted.
Like, no, but I mean it's called something. When you don't. No, man. What do you call it? If in the United States, if you don't get a visa, then they classify it as you are
stateless.
Illegal.
Oh, thanks,
Illegal
guys.
immigrant?
You guys are brilliant. No. It's like an
Undocumented migrant?
No. Okay, never mind. Undesirable citizen. Thank you so much, Renier. Thank you. Fuck's sakes, guys. Like,
Mine's
seriously.
better.
Easy there. Easy there. This isn't a Ronaldo stream. No profanity.
Fuck, sorry.
I mean, you can take the boy out of PE, but gee whiz.
Yeah, I'm telling you. It's. I feel like I'm watching Jeremy. All I need is a little.
Well, that
scotch.
was quite racist. Did you just call me a boy, Ramon? I mean, I find that really that's racist.
I think I agree.
I've seen you in person. You're shorter than me.
No.
That's
I'm
why
sorry
you
that you are so. I'm sorry that you're so insecure about your height.
The funniest part of the stream so far was when Ronaldo did his academic thesis on what a PK is.
That was pretty entertaining. It was also very informative for me, so I do appreciate it. I don't.
Yeah. You haven't lived in South Africa if you haven't received one. So next time you come, we need to organize. Okay.
Exactly. So the levels is obviously the first one. The lowest level is a bitch slap. Then the second level to that is a snort clap, and then you get a puss clap. That's the highest one. So it's a bitch slap, a snort clap, and a puss clap. That is the three levels.
What's a good public example of a puss clap? Like that's very well known, where someone got smashed in the face.
Oof, there's so many. Like I need to. I'll try and find a video where I can just show it, and then because you can't describe a PK. You have to see a PK.
No, because it sounds like a gunshot, and it feels worse than one.
It changes you. Somebody in the comments said it changes you for life.
Well, let me put it this way.
They said it stays with you.
When I come,
it's so hard. It gets into your DNA.
And put it this way: when I get to South Africa, and when y'all try that, it will definitely change your life.
Oh shit! Let me see if I can find one here.
Michael says, I sound like someone who went to Bishop's High School. Oh, how dare you? Ooh. I went to another high school in Johannesburg. I don't live in Cape Town. It's a degenerate place.
Why do people always think you live in Cape Town? Everybody thinks you live in Cape Town. I don't get that.
I don't know. I grew up on a small plot outside of Joburg on a farm, and now I live in a nice suburb, I'm not going to lie. But I mean, really, I've never lived in Cape Town for longer than a week at a time.
Zuin the man just gave a super chat, and he says, I want no shirt Roman, but it's a 14 Rand super chat. You're about 1,000 Rand too shy for a stripper no shirt Roman.
Yeah, and then if that super chat is given, it will be done on my channel.
No.
I'm not going to fund Chris Wyatt's whatever running shoe fetish by taking all my shirts. Not a chance.
Right. No, you're just gonna fund his rugby shirt addiction.
There's an actual point there, fact there. Yeah. Speaking of which, I got a new rugby jersey today.
Which one?
The Utah Warriors 2020 season, which was cut short. It's pretty awesome looking one. I go grab it, but the moment I leave, Roman and Ronaldo start, having fun, so I can't walk away from the mic.
They hijack the show.
They will.
I'm trying trying to get it. Sorry.
No, it's okay. Sorry. I will say this, though. Listen, you have to give props here. Roman, whether he's the host or the guest or a participant in a call, always has a good penchant and a good ability to know when to, not to, the right time to intercede. Whereas Germ that guy just interrupts every time somebody takes a breath,
Absolutely. That's especially when he disagrees with someone. He doesn't let him finish the point, and then he's already interrupting. Whereas I actually want to hear what people say. I think it's important to hear what people say, and then when there's a gap, you take it. But Jerome interrupts far too much, and he knows that. He says, "Yeah, I'll do better, but he doesn't do better."
No, he doesn't want
I see someone in the chat asked if there's any new updates. So far, the police have pretty much, from what I've seen, kept the EFF at bay. They can't reach the school. They're pretty much just stranded at an intersection right now.
Yeah.
So they can't really let out all their energy.
But I do know that there's quite a few DA people on the ground signing up new members. So
don't talk bullshit, please.
With the help of the police.
That's a Cape party.
Warriors rugby. Which Warriors? Oh, the Utah Warriors. That team with prestige and tradition. The stronghold of rugby in the world.
Yeah, keep talking smack, Roman. Keep talking smack.
Chris, does Pennsylvania have a rugby team?
Okay.
Oh yeah, there's
Okay,
rugby's
yeah.
huge here. Rugby's a big deal. We've got some of the top sevens teams in the country. Kutztown University is huge, and we've got good programs in other places here. It's big. Rugby's been huge at the club level for a century in the United States. It just escaped the world's attention because we didn't have a national side until 1984. We, of course, had a national side we assembled for the 1920 24 Olympics. We won both Olympics, so we're the reigning Olympic champions for a century until Rio, but it's because it wasn't in the game anymore. But but
I was about to say, yeah.
Well, okay, interest of full disclosure, but we were the reigning champions. And then we didn't win anything else until 2 years ago, and we finally won another championship, the Americas Rugby Championship. But the game we didn't have a national team until 1984. So, and we didn't have professional rugby until 2016. And that league folded after 1 year, and now we've had Major League Rugby for 3 seasons. So when it comes to the development of professional rugby, we're 2 decades plus behind the rest of the world. But we have lots of talented American rugby players that play all over the world. I interviewed Blaine Scully yesterday, former Eagles captain, who played for Leicester and played for Cardiff Blues for a long time. So, yeah, rugby's big here. It's just not a big money sport. It'll get there. Just who knows when.
Chris,
when they turn it into a whole day event.
Chris, I sent you one of the latest memes coming out of Brackenfell right now. I think it'll.
Yeah,
there it goes.
Yeah.
And then I've sent you.
Sorry, I'm laughing at it. It's really funny. I'll bring it up. And then, Ronaldo, you sent something too?
Yeah, I've sent you the best definition of a PK.
Oh, you actually sent me a bunch of pictures too, which I missed.
Yeah, don't show them live yet until you have seen them.
Until you vetted them.
Yeah, no,
you don't know with Ronaldo.
Yeah, well, I'm just humoring.
Thanks,
Ronaldo.
guys.
Yeah, I mean,
Joyce
sheep go
Ferreira
missing
just
in
subscribed.
PE.
Thanks for subscribing. I hope you subscribe for Chris Wyatt, not because Roman is here. you know, he captures all the ladies' hearts.
And he doesn't say, and you don't say Ronaldo. That's fantastic.
I don't need subscribers. It's fine.
We sort of equalize because as soon as Ronaldo comes on, people unsubscribe, and then when I come on, people subscribe. So hopefully it equalizes.
Well, that's what I'm
somewhat.
saying. Let's be honest, Roman. The women can tune in because you're dead sexy, and I said I hope they're not tuning in just for that reason because you're not always here. They'll disappoint it.
Dude,
very
to about 5 minutes ago, the reason people think that Roman is from Cape Town is because he acts like he's from Cape Town. He dresses like he's from Cape Town. He moans like he's from Cape Town. And he is metrosexual like Cape Townians. So it's fine.
All right, so it's on the
Oh,
screen.
am I metrosexual?
Ronaldo, people don't even have to speculate where you're from, though.
Exactly. And neither do they with you. Neither do they with you.
Do you know where Adams is actually from, though? And it's not Pretoria.
He's from Pretoria for everybody.
I don't have a Pretoria
Northwest.
accent.
He's from Northwest.
No, I come from the Western Cape.
Really?
Yes, he comes from down there. Indeed. I was shocked when I found out.
Yeah,
I met Adams when he was still at university. Remember that, Adams? When was that?
Yeah, when I had long hair on my shoulders.
Yes, you're like a real proper hippie there. Now look at you. You see what happens when you meet me? Like you just flourish. I'll take all the credit. Thank you.
So are you taking the credit for taking him from the path of Markovits to a rational person that he is today?
Well, arguably back then he was, if I may say, Adams was already quite sane and pragmatic and charitable. So I can't take any credit.
Listen, if Germ WhatsApps any of us, just don't answer. Say we're busy, please.
I'm busy live streaming with Chris, Germ.
You won't suspect anything. Just don't say anything.
I see someone in the chat asks, in watter school was Ernst? I was in Hoërskool Swartland in Malmesbury.
Malmesbury?
Swartland?
That's a bit racist.
Jeez. Yeah. People didn't think too hard about the names they call places.
Anyway,
it's a bit like New York
Chris,
City.
I sent you a video.
I'm looking for it.
Play it.
No. You're setting me up here.
I swear to God, I'm not setting you up.
I'm still waiting for Chris to put the meme on.
He did.
Oh, I've seen this video before.
Now that is a PK, my friend. But the way that they put that video together is just brilliant because it plays in with that those pallbearers. It plays in with that. It's just brilliant. We won't be able to see it, but the people that view it will be able to, because for some reason Chris has got like a 45-second delay on his live stream.
Because I'm being censored by YouTube. It's set for ultra low latency. Oh my God. Yeah, that's one. I've seen that before. All right.
Okay, so that's a PK. So put it on the screen so people can see it.
Yes, Massa Ronaldo.
Yes.
I need
Yeah,
to-
you see, people with so little power think they have so much. What's the Dunning-Kruger effect, but for people who think they're poureful?
It's called the
Mighty Jamie effect.
Mighty Jamie.
The Mighty
Jamie effect. You guys are funny.
Oh, he's going to tweet about us now.
Yeah, he's thick, eh?
All right, here it comes.
On Moosey's account.
All right.
Okay.
I need you to chill so people can hear it.
Okay.
I'll tell you when it's. We should all be so fortunate when we pass is to have people get to our coffins and take him around like that. They play some James Brown. I feel good. There you go.
So you see, the guy with the tattoos, that was a bitch slap, and then the PK was what you saw there. It's like when your soul leaves your body and then it returns. It changes your DNA, like Aaron said.
All right, but gentlemen and Ronaldo, I need to be on my way. Unfortunately, you still got business meetings to attend and all that sort of stuff. So I will.
Oh wow, with that outfit.
Thankfully, my clients don't use the camera on Zoom. True story. But I'm going to bid you adieu. Thank you, Chris, for the kind invitation.
You're welcome. You need a better paying class of clients there.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, most of my clients are dead.
Oh.
True story.
Well, exactly.
So they're
Just like Biden voters.
They're Biden voters, yeah, exactly. Biden voters, yeah.
Yeah, well, they don't donate as much as dead Biden voters, I'm afraid. So yeah.
All right,
Need
so
a change in strategy.
We're going to put this to the test when Ramon leaves. Watch and see how many people leave the stream. All right, Ramon, we'll catch you later. Thanks for tuning in.
Speak soon, everyone. Oh, and catch me on the live stream at 5 p.m. on Morning Shot. Nice plug. Anyway,
which is
bye,
one
everyone.
which is 1 hour before my stream with Brian van Straten.
There we go. All right, everyone. Cheers. Thank you. Cheers, Chris.
Cheers, Raymond.
Cheers.
Bye.
Cheers.
Ronaldo's probably holding his thumbs that the view count actually goes up.
Oh,
Yeah, then we're
good
gonna watch it.
riddance.
We're going to watch it.
Good riddance. There, 5 people left. So that is Marika. It is
Marika.
Yeah.
Yeah, Marika is a major fanboy when it comes to Ramon, that's for sure.
I'm just joking, by the way, but I did say that if I was Mrs. Kabanak, I would be worried. But it's a joke. It's a joke. I don't think Marika likes me anyway, so it's all good anyway. It's all good.
It seems like everything is quiet on the Brackenfell side. No, I'm checking.
It does look
Which
pretty
is
quiet.
great.
It is.
Which
good.
is great.
That's a great development. Yep.
What a absolute red balls for the EFF.
Yeah. No, it's insane. So I think, though, that the mainstream media got their story, but they didn't get the story that we thought that they would spin. So they've got this like really rich white kid that is like brainwashed. And I think that he's going to get a lot of flack over the next couple of days, especially as more stuff comes out, because you know how the media works. So the media uplifts people and they give them this platform, and then they start like getting to the second part, which is breaking down. It's the same with as an example, and it might be a stupid one, with Bitcoin. So the media started creating the Bitcoin hype, and then they started talking about how it's going to collapse so that they could get both ends of the story. And I believe it's going to be the same thing with this kid, where they're talking about look how outspoken he is, and then they're going to find all these sources that we found now, and then they're going to start reporting on it. So I actually do I feel sorry for him? No, I don't feel sorry for him. He deserves everything that's coming his way.
I see everyone's noticing the broken clock behind me. This is not my office, so it's not my clock, not my responsibility.
Oh wow, that's just like throwing somebody under the bus. Nice one.
That is. So what's going on, Aaron? On your end? I mean, what's
on my end? So Aaron Roots, my colleague, did his speech at the UN yesterday about hate speech against minorities in South Africa. It went very well.
So is he here? Is he here in New York, or do you do that via Zoom or something like that?
No, it was via video feed.
Okay.
So that speech should be available sometime today or Monday. But you can find that AfriForum did a video on all the hate speech that he referenced in the speech as well, and that's on our channel right now.
Okay, great.
And yeah, so that we've just been busy with that the whole week, and I also attended a meeting by the Free Market Foundation to discuss EWC yesterday, so that was also very interesting. But the last 2 weeks have just been crunch time. This end of the year stuff usually starts getting very hectic, as it always does. So yeah, but I'm always busy. And when people ask me how's it going at work, I can always answer them and say, well, when you're working for a civil rights organization during a lockdown, there's never a dull day.
Yeah, never a day without it, with nothing to do. That's for darn sure. By the way, thanks again for helping encourage Ernst Ritz to come on to my program. We finally got him on, and I think it was a really good stream. Had a good conversation. So thanks a lot for that. Appreciate that, Ernst.
No problem. No, it was a very good stream.
Wow. So Ernst gets the credit for getting Ernst Ritz on, not me.
Well, that's because he's the one that got him on.
What? I'm the one that put you guys in touch. Okay, never mind. It's fine.
Yeah,
Once
I was
again,
the one
Ronaldo.
that kept reminding Ernst that he's got an obligation.
He blew me off for the 3 months after you put me in contact with him. He didn't come on.
Well, so did Steve, but I still gave you credit.
No. Let's get that straight, Ronaldo. You said he has to contact me, and I said, no, it ain't going to work that way, man. And you finally broke down, and then Steve agreed pretty quickly, didn't he? I mean, within 24, 48 hours after I put you guys in touch, he was game, wasn't he? I mean, that was pretty cool.
Yeah, because
I mean,
I
not with me,
beat
of
him in
him.
a Twitter poll, I think. Yeah.
Yeah.
He had to. He was forced to. Anyway, I'm joking.
No,
It's
I know
all
you're
good.
joking, but you've definitely helped. You've pushed a few guests my way, and I'm grateful for that. Very much so.
Yeah, let's see. I see there's some more updates from Eyewitness News.
Okay.
Yeah.
But Helen Ziller
it's
still
just-
hasn't come on my channel, or John Steenhuisen.
It's just the EFF are stalking around Brackenfell, but nothing really is happening. They're just walking around, don't know what to do with their energy.
It says from the EFF's page, the racist police of the Western Cape. The racist police
The
of the
black
Western
racist,
Cape.
the black racist police.
Yeah. The racist police of the Western Cape have again tear gassed the EFF peaceful protest against racism. I will send you the video now. And I think the reason for that is in actual fact because there's about 2,000 to 3,000 people standing together, and that is why they were probably dispersed. I'll send you the video now. Let me just download it.
Well, not just that. They're protesting with weapons.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Knob carries and pungas.
Yeah.
Knopkitties.
I see Ronaldo Close's doppelganger is asking me where are the EFF supporters going to sleep. I don't know. Probably on the bus on the way back.
Exactly.
Who is my doppelganger? I can't see. I'm not watching the screen right now.
Ronaldo Rose. Ronaldo Rose.
Okay. That's a brilliant name, by the way. Brilliant name.
I saw someone comment in the chat a while back in Chris's chat. They saw that account and they said, Chris, you need to watch out. Ronaldo Close has created an alternative account and he's trying to fool you.
People have been saying that a long time. They think that's the case. It's not him. The English language construction is a little different.
But I wanted to see you, Chris, when that person told you that, to like see you thinking and you look at the name and you just switch the two letters and then your mind is just blown.
It's like what was that guy like? Whoa. Anyway, I sent you the video.
I got it. I'm pulling it up now. I gotta renumber a different one though. How long is this thing?
I'm monitoring the news feeds in regards to if there's any new.
Yeah, I want to bring this one up, folks. So here's another video of the EFF hanging out. Clearly, once again, their math skills are a bit on the poor side here, a bit sketchy side.
And they're calling the police racist.
Yes, yes, without any evidence. That's criminal injury, is it not?
Yep.
Yeah, they should watch that.
Here we go, Tom. These tough warriors run. They're all just fleeing. Well, as I told people who were itching for a fight, I said, don't. I mean, these are man children. They're man child. They're not real warriors. They'll run at the first sign, and they will only attack the vulnerable. I mean, look at these thugs who murdered Colonel Vesels.
Yeah.
He's missing a leg because he saved a black comrade in the Bush War and lived throughout his life in pain, and they murdered him by putting a plastic bag over his head. What kind of vile creatures do that sort of thing? Not real men, just cowards.
Chris, there's a big contrast here today from what we saw in Senegal and what we see here today, and that's how the reaction to flashbangs. So the reaction here is people just scatter and run away, but those burkies in Senegal, when those flashbangs
walked
they
away.
didn't even flinch. They're bomb-proof like police horses.
Well, and here's the difference in the case, the one case where that cowardly Saps guy was in the what is it? In Nyala? That's the name of the carrier, I think. Nyala.
Nyala, yeah.
Yeah, it was in Nyala. He throws that flashbang when there's no protest, nothing going on around him. He throws it near the guy who's got his mobile up and he's videotaping. It lands right next to him, and they're kind of like nonplussed. And the cop just runs off and they speed away like a bunch of cowards. They're inside an armored vehicle throwing flashbangs, and they're afraid of people who are just standing around wearing shorts and sandals.
Yeah, that was the shit end of the police. So I think the police have vindicated themselves if you compare the two. So that was like the really cock side of the police. Like there was literally like 6 people just standing on the side of the road, and then that Nyala like decided to like
does a drive-by.
Yeah, it drives past and then it stops, and it's almost as if you can hear the reverse like deet deet.
Well, they did back up.
Just
they
check
backed
this.
up.
Yeah, and then you just check this one, and then it's like, and everybody's just standing there looking at each other going, what the fuck was that? And then today you see, I mean, can you play that other clip that with the blue water? I mean, that is brilliant. When I saw that, and if you contrast the two of those, I mean, it's amazing.
I was saying on Twitter earlier today, that's a bold election strategy by the DA to try and paint these potential DA voters blue.
We want to get the DA blue out, and I think that's the best way of doing it. You know, if you can't convince people on social media, then you just throw paint at them. That changes.
Or maybe it's science. Maybe like blue burns their skin if you're an EFF member.
Just like holy water. I don't know. But
because that water is oddly DA blue.
I'm sure there's a reason for it, and I'm pretty sure the DA had nothing to do with it because it's the SAPS. The EFF is now saying on their Twitter profile, the South African police have conspired with racist whites trying to prevent our free movement in the land of our forebearers.
Spoiler alert.
I'm sorry.
If you're in the Western Cape, you're a settler.
No, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Did this take place in Cameroon? Did I miss something? Were these events in Cameroon today? That's where the Bantu came from.
And then there's obviously they had to get I Can't Breathe in there too. So the follow-up tweet was Black people can't breathe in their own land. Colonial settlers continue to have their knees on our necks. This must end. Hashtag EFF in Brackenfell.
All right, I'm going to show the water video again. You guys ready for this?
Yeah, because Ronaldo requested it.
Oh, is that why I'm doing it? I got to make sure I got the right video here because it should be this one, but let me double check.
Yeah, don't show the porn one I sent you, please.
Here we go.
Completely inappropriate.
This is the one with the. Oh, hang on a second. Before we do that, I got to do my proper salute here, folks.
I'll do it with you.
Isabel de Klerk and Andre Marais just became. Don't do it with that broken finger, Ronaldo. Just became members. So here, Andre Marais. This is for your membership. Jeez. Thank you so much. Bye bye, Donkey. Andre Marais and Isabel de Klerk became a member first. Oh, there it is. There it is. So thank you both very much for becoming members. Quel bois. Bye bye.
Adams is like, what the hell?
Yeah, because I'm not in the military.
Okay, well, neither is Ronaldo. So
I am an honorable colonel. Okay.
Oh, here we go. Okay, quiet, guys. Here we go. This is the blue water again. You can laugh if you want during this, but here it goes.
That is definitely DA blue, though.
Look how it burns them.
Run away! Run away!
Now they're all red.
That's insane.
Jeez, it looks like a war zone.
I thought that Guy Fawkes wasn't Guy Fawkes like on the 5th of November.
Yes.
Chris, was it you that was laughing at the guys that got trapped there?
Yes, it was me. Run away!
Oh,
Just thinking of Monty Python. Run away.
Exactly.
Oh shit, yeah, they're all crowding down.
Like I said earlier, the economic fleeing fighters.
Oh, they stuck.
Exactly.
There they are.
Sticky
Pinned in.
stuck in the mud. Stuck in blue fucking paint.
That's crazy. You see, that's what happens when you get bussed in. You don't really know what you stand for. You're just there, like,
exactly.
you're just there to get
Of course,
in.
Julius Malema is not there.
Of course not.
Where is Julius Malema? Where is he? I thought
Rumor
he was
is
there
it that
before.
he's probably going to do a speech later. I wouldn't think.
Is he still in his
I
Mercedes?
don't think he would miss that opportunity.
He's
But
probably still in his
waiting.
Mercedes Benz.
Yeah, I don't think he wants like his designer clothes stained by that.
Exactly.
You see, folks, I think what's called for here is the holy hand grenade. First, thou pulleth the holy pin, and then tosseth the holy hand grenade. What are you running from? It's just a bunny rabbit. It's vicious, I tell you. It's vicious.
Gents, I have to sign off. I'm on my way to East London. So I won't be streaming, but I will be back on Sunday to stream with Chris on my channel. So
All right. I'll see if I can tune in.
A lekker weekend, and let's hope that some amazing articles come out with regards to this. And I can't wait to see what's happening with Jack and his white privilege.
Jack Markovitz, live from the Western Cape.
I can't even make a video about it because I don't have like the tools right now, because otherwise I would have put a video out, but I can't, unfortunately. So it's up for grabs to whomever is going to make a video on him. Anyway.
All right, Ronaldo. Thanks a lot. Appreciate it. Bye.
Cheers, everybody.
Cheers, Ronaldo. Have a good one.
All right,
Ciao.
as Ronaldo departs, this is for Justin Unwin, who became a member while that video was up. So here's your salute. Thanks a lot, Justin. I appreciate everyone becoming a member, supporting the channel. Well, boy, 3.5 hours. Going to have to cut here short soon. But Ernst, what have you got coming up on your channel? You have any videos coming out soon, or have you had any recent ones?
Well, yes. Actually, yes. I will be talking to Ernst Roots again on Tuesday next week. I will be talking to him about his speech at the UN. And like I said, after Senegal, I made a tweet where I thanked the EFF. And I said, thank you very much for all the very hateful and genocidal songs that you sang. Because now we have got all that footage, and now we can go send it to the UN. And that's exactly what we did. Now it's all out there. All nice and fresh content from the EFF themselves. So we did that speech at the Minority Issues Forum yesterday. And we also sent a written submission. And now next week as well, Adam Surits will be on my channel to talk about it a bit more in regards to what the next steps are now. Because we're going to be ramping up the World Must Know campaign once again.
You know, I did a hashtag on that. I didn't realize it was a campaign. I just started saying the world must know. And then that's the hashtag, the world must know. And they say about what's happening in South Africa. So I didn't pilfer that. I didn't know that you guys were using the hashtag. So now that I know you guys are doing it, I'll make sure I mention that. Wow. Okay.
No, it's great, man. It's
I guess like mine.
This year has been a very big year for that campaign and for that hashtag. And we've seen the effects of it. I mean, we've seen international leaders pretty much kind of growing colder towards South Africa. I mean, one of the most prominent incidents was definitely with Secretary Pompeo, pretty much telling SA, like, you guys are, even though you're not that important, we've got to the US, we've still got a magnifying glass on you because you are in agreements with us. So it's not like South Africa is insignificant to the US. There is agreements that we have with the US, and they need to be respected. So we're going to have to see what happens there.
Yeah, no, in my view, at the moment, South Africa's in breach of the African... Oh, hang on a second. Ogafori's become a member? For those who are curious what's going on there, I mentioned it earlier, people become financial supporters of the channel, members of Chris White Africa, which, by the way, in South Africa is only 10 Rand a month. You can't even get a streetwise meal for that price, but 10 Rand per month. If you become a member, support the channel, I offer a salute. It's a medieval practice of soldiers who showed their hand like this to show they weren't armed, because most soldiers are right-handed. I happen to be left-handed, but we salute with the right hand. And it was originally started like this and developed into a salute over time to show respect for seniors by subordinates. And as a retired colonel, I show you a sign of respect for becoming a financial supporter of the channel. So that's what that is. What was I saying? I got off track there, Ernst, before I did that.
We were talking about the World Must Know campaign.
Oh, no, it was after that, though. I know what I want to say. Yeah, is it you were talking about the, I didn't get to it. I wanted to say it. So this is what it was. You were talking about Senecal and thanking the EFF for all the footage. And that's exactly what I said when I did a post-mortem. I did an after-action analysis video. And I said that this was, in many respects, if it's used wisely, at least an operational and perhaps even a strategic victory for right-minded South Africans, because the EFF has shown their ass and exposed themselves in a way that they can't deny, singing Kill the Boer, 20 minutes of footage of Julius Malema spouting racist hatred and bile, all of which violates South African law. He should have been arrested for it. And then, of course, his number 3, calling for arson and to burn. And, he switches from Zulu to English, making sure we understand he's saying, burn the Boer, burn them down. And less than 48 hours later, we see 247,000 acres in the Northern Free State burned. So, definitely thank them. But I said that's exactly what this is. And then, of course, we have the situation last week with Brackenfell, in which parents beat up on people, and people keep saying, well, yeah, but you don't know the whole story. I do know the whole story. I don't care that the EFF threw rocks. That isn't what went in the newspapers overseas. So, and that doesn't help the case. But today, restraint, we've seen thus far. It looks like it's won the day, and that's a good sign for South Africa. So thank you, EFF, for more footage. And this will be great recruiting footage for their future cadres and to show them just how manly they are. Not.
Absolutely. But yeah, Chris, no, it's the EFF have blessed us with all the content that we need to really show the world what's going on in South Africa. And I've seen a lot of interest from people abroad in terms of what's happening here. So that's a very encouraging sign. If you want to see the video that AfriForum released regarding the hate speech directed at minorities, you can go see it on our channel. Next week, Tuesday, on my channel, I will be talking to Adams more about that. But Chris, I got to run as well. I've still got some work to do. But I enjoyed this chat very much. A lot of excellent banter going on. And you will definitely be on my channel again real soon. I'm just figuring out my schedule as it goes.
All right, that sounds good. I'm up for it. Just let me know, okay?
All right, excellent. Cheers, guys. Have a good one. Right. And if you are interested in checking out my content, you can just search Conscious Caracal and it will be there. Cheers, Chris. Have a good one.
All right. Thanks a lot, Ernst. Folks, you should go check out the Conscious Caracal. He's got some great content and has a very clear thought process and does great analysis. I'm going to head and take my earpiece out because that's going to be the end of that. It looks like we've reached pretty much most of what's going to happen. If anything breaks after this, folks, there's no point in everybody hanging around the stream for 2 or 3 more hours just to see if something happens. It is possible that some isolated incidents will still break out in Brackenfell. I don't know, but the police do seem to have things in hand for the moment. So I want to thank everybody for tuning in this morning. It's been a real pleasure to have folks here. Not nearly the audience that we had for Senegal. I think people were expecting some kind of race war in Senegal, and that's why, we had almost 6,000 people in for the stream. That was unbelievable. Tonight we had 1,200 at the peak of the stream, so thank you all for tuning in for that. I hope that you found it useful and found some useful analysis here. My thanks to Ronaldo Jos and Roman Kabanak, as well as Ernst Fonseca, the Conscious Caracal, for calling in. I did invite Big Daddy Liberty, but he notoriously is never checking his mail, so I don't know if we even saw it. So anyway, he was more than welcome to come in the stream if he'd been available, but I suspect he may have been busy. He's a busy guy too. I did see people saying over here, Chris, why don't you take a break? When are you going to take it easy? Well, folks, lives are on the line. And all lives on the line, white, black, brown, in South Africa, because of these jackasses and their racist bigotry and their hatred and the desire to start a race war for their own political means. They don't care who they hurt or how they hurt people, and they don't care about the lies. Did you see the video that I played the other day in my analysis, in which the guy says these land thugs, seriously? You people in your inability to grasp history, the only people in Southern Africa 2,000 years ago were Khoi and San. That's it. That's it. No Bantus, and there were no Zulu, no Xhosa, no Pidi, no Siswati, no Venda, no Tswana. None of those people were there. And no Europeans. Not a single one. None of those people. And then about 1600 years ago, the Bantu and their long migration out of Cameroon down the Rift Valley came rocking their way into what is today Zimbabwe, displacing the Khoisan San. And despite the protestations of the Shona in Zimbabwe, not all of them, but the ruling Shona from ZANU-PF, the San were in fact in Zimbabwe. We have archaeological evidence of it. We can see the cave paintings that they did, the rock paintings, they're there. Those weren't done by Bantu peoples. Those were done 10, 20, 30, 40, 50,000 years ago by the San people. And then eventually the Bantu coming down into the very southern parts of Africa, displacing the Khoisan San, chasing them into the Kalahari, and or wiping them out, and or, marrying them or enslaving them in certain cases. And sometimes living peacefully with them. That was eventually some of the Xhosa people. Most of the Bantu did not live peacefully with the Khoisan San. So there you go. Innocent Madon says just subscribe. Thank you so much for subscribing, Innocent. Appreciate it. And so these people's inability to be honest about history and lie about settlers, well, they're settlers too. And as I've always offered the advice to Robert Gabriel Mugabe, when he used to say, one settler, one bullet, I'm like, you need a lot of ammunition because shooting 14 million people is a big challenge. There's only about 5,000 San left in Zimbabwe. The rest of you can foot sec European and Bantu because you're not from Zimbabwe. You too are colonizers and settlers, as are all the peoples in southern Africa, save the Khoisan San and arguably many of the colors who have Khoisan San heritage. Anyway, so there you go, folks. A little history lesson for the bigots and racists out there who have an inability to understand history. That is the history. That is the fact. It's demonstrably provable. It is a fact. Rudy Osterhuis has just subscribed. Thank you so much for that, Rudy. Appreciate your subscription. By the way, folks, of the 600 plus people currently here in the stream, if any of you are not currently subscribers to Chris White Africa, hey, why not take a moment and become a subscriber? You'll find some interesting content on here, and we do a lot of coverage. And as the question came up here, I seem to be on YouTube quite a bit, as much as I can be, to try to get the word out about what's happening in Africa, but especially in South Africa. People need to know what's happening in Africa, the good things and the bad things, and that's the focus of it. I see some clowns come on, oh, he's just doing it for clicks or for this and that. Trust me, folks, it's not about that. I make a lot more money doing consulting work, and it's a lot more lucrative than sitting on a YouTube channel. But this is about getting the word out and also helping people overcome the lockdown, because you can only watch so much Mnet before you want to put a 9mm in your mouth, right? I mean, come on. It's just... it's enough. It's enough. And the same on this side. Netflix gets old after a while, so people are looking for other content to keep them occupied during lockdown. Anyway, folks, I want to thank you all. We got 762 likes and 643 people currently watching. Could I ask for folks a little bit of e-begging here to get you to push that like button, smash it before you leave. We're going to close up here in just a second. Nearly a 4-hour stream. And there you go. I'll thank you, Hendo, for putting a link in. Mark John says, great stream, or good stream, Chris. Thanks. And yeah, the moderators did a great job today pulling out the trolls. Thanks. Daniel M. just gave an Australian super chat. Thank you for the good work, Chris. Your channel keeps growing, and it's because we respect your opinions and views. Well, thank you, Daniel. I respect people who are honest in their discourse. Had somebody subscribe earlier. Gareth subscribed earlier. Rulani and Dobe just subscribed. Thank you for that. Gareth and I had sort of a disagreement in arguments, but he didn't take it personally, and I wasn't offended by what he said, and we both discussed it out, and he became a subscriber on here. That's the kind of discourse I like. Phoebe Pup, well, that's a cool name. Thank you for subscribing. Yeah, so that's what it's all about. It's the trolls that come on here and play their games. Folks, if you look at my channel, you'll see people right on my videos make unfounded basis and unfounded claims, and now they're even taking the nonsense to Twitter. I saw my name posted on Twitter by some vile racist, Sinet Kutza, thank you so much, posting nonsense about me, saying I'm anti-black. What a bunch of horse manure. What a bunch of horse shit. That's absolute nonsense. That person's just a bigoted black nationalist racist who doesn't know anything about me. I've done more to save and improve black African lives than most of the people on this planet will ever do in their life. There are over 640,000 people who are alive today in Southern Africa because they didn't starve to death because I took the initiative to write an intelligence report for the President of the United States. So little bigots like that can go shove it up their rectum and twist it sideways and go elsewhere. You'll notice on my channel that when I can find information about horrific murders of black South Africans and they're pointless, I'll make videos about that and point that out about the violence in South Africa too. Because they come on and say, all you ever talk about is farm murders. No, that's not true. I talk about the rural violence and the violent nature of South African society. Brendan Talliard, thank you so much for subscribing. I talk about all those issues, and I talk about all of Africa here, folks. I've done videos on Liberia, on Morocco, Ghana, Nigeria, Where else? Mali, Niger, Uganda, Tanzania, Botswana, Namibia. Take your pick. Lesotho. I've done lots of videos across the continent, and I've been to many of those countries and lived in 8 of those countries in Africa, so I'm quite happy doing those things. But I also cover rugby on the channel, folks, and if you come on later today, that will be at 6 p.m. in Botswana and South Africa. At 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, I'll have Bram van Straten, former Springbok and a coach for the Southern Kings in South Africa. We'll be talking about Care for Kings, an effort to raise funds for the staff and the players from the Southern Kings rugby franchise who were left high and dry with the sudden liquidation of the club back on September 19th, I think it was. So he's been trying to raise money by auctioning off Kings memorabilia. So please tune in for that stream. And we'll be talking about the Bermuda Tens, a fascinating new version of rugby that's very, very interesting. He was there as a coach and actually got on the pitch and kicked a conversion, which is pretty interesting. So that'll be later today. And then in the afternoon, it'll be evening in South Africa, Botswana. I have Dasha Pruitt, a U.S. congressional candidate for Pennsylvania's 5th District, which includes the area where all the nonsense has been taking place in Philadelphia and Delaware counties over on the east side of Pennsylvania. She'll be on the channel. According to the current data, she's lost significantly. Leo Gabel just subscribed. Thank you. She's lost significantly to her Democratic incumbent. But Dasha is a fascinating person. She's a Russian immigrant, a political refugee who came here. Her father was imprisoned in the Gulag twice in the Soviet Union because he had the audacity to paint Vladimir Lenin wearing a dress. They didn't like that. They put him in the Gulag. So they escaped and eventually settled in America. So she grew up in America from the age of 10 onwards, but she's got that Russian accent as a consequence of her early youth. And she ran for Congress this year. It looks like she may have lost, but we'll be talking about the Pennsylvania election and what happened over there in southeastern Pennsylvania with Dasha Pruitt. That'll be at 9:30. Which is a different start time than normal, 9:30 and South Africa and Botswana instead of 9:35, and 2:30 p.m. here on the East Coast of the United States. So please tune in for that as well. On Saturday, Valerie from Black Monday, the lady who organizes the Black Monday assemblies in South Africa, will be my guest on the channel. So tune in for those things, folks. Really appreciate your support for the channel. And Citizen Guardian says, because Blue Shark has not done his research on socialism and its effects. I must have missed something. Oh, okay. There you go, folks. Anyway, that's it. I will go get a nap now, folks. I'm a bit knackered. I've been up since 2:30 to get ready for the stream, which we started around 3:05 this morning for me. I know it was 9:05 for you guys. But anyway, there you have it, folks. This was a summary, a live stream with updated videos from what happened today in Brackenfell in the Western Cape, where the economic freedom fighters went out to protest, violated the court order, and created themselves as criminals, presented themselves as criminals. They were allowed to have 100 protesters and were allowed to protest from 10 to 12 a.m. Unfortunately, they showed up with hundreds and eventually thousands of protesters who were armed, carrying pangas. Those are machetes for those who don't know, and knob carries, which are those wooden clubs with a big ball on the end of it. Very dangerous. You can kill someone by striking the head with them. They're deadly weapons, and they deliver deadly force. They showed up with these weapons and eventually were dispersed by the police, who did a fine job, it appears, by all accounts here. Kudos to the South African Police Service, who, unlike Senegal, did a fantastic job here. Well done, folks. Well done. Anyway, have to give credit when it's due, and this is the case. Also, credit to the Boer Legion, who appear to have helped keep reason and order so that people didn't let their emotions run high and get involved. And so, once again, the economic freedom fighters have exposed themselves for the frauds that they are, inciting public violence and terrorism, threatening innocent school children with their violence, looking for attention and trying to provoke a race war. Well, you didn't get it. You didn't get it today. Congratulations to the residents of Brackenfell, and hopefully the community will be better off and these clowns will stop. But I wouldn't hold my breath. This is the EFF. They're desperate for attention because as a opposition party, they've accomplished absolutely nothing in Parliament. There you go, folks. Thanks a lot. Appreciate your time. And nearly 4 hours in the stream, I'm done. I'm out of here. Thanks for tuning in. And we'll catch you later today here on Chris White Africa, the Indaba Africa channel, when we have Bram van Straten on, and then later we have Dasha Pruitt. So thanks, folks. Have a good day, and thank you so much for your patronage. If you didn't become a subscriber, feel free to subscribe after the stream if you like. Share this channel with your friends, your neighbors. Let people know about it. The only way that people learn about events in South Africa, because a fair portion of my audience is outside South Africa, is for people to know about it. And the more people in South Africa know about it, the more likely is you have a relative who lives overseas who spreads the word to a South African expat who spreads it to someone else they know in New Zealand, Australia, the United States, or Canada, somewhere like that. And next thing you know, we get a bigger and bigger audience outside the country who could help potentially spread the word and maybe do something positive to help minorities and all South Africans who are being abused by the African National Congress's malgovernance and the EFF's attempted race war. God bless, have a good day, and thank you for your patronage. Take care, folks.